In the grim darkness of the 41st millennium, there is only war. Little is known about the dark age of technology, save that it was a time of great advancement for humanity. They spread across the stars, colonizing and terraforming far-flung worlds with powerful ships and even more powerful devices. They would have ruled every point of light in the void had a calamity not befallen them. Abominable intelligence, AI, turned upon its masters, plunging the galaxy into war which separated the human colonies from one another. Xenos, aliens, encroached from the black, festering and breeding in wherever their alien kind could find purchase in the cracks. And then, with a horrific rend in the fabric of space-time, the Eye of Terror opened itself, a vortex of incalculable size leading directly into the hellish realm of the immaterium, the warp. With the galaxy under its watchful gaze, even the sacred human form became profaned. Mutants, heretics, and psychic witches began to appear even in the safest of these lost colonies. Onto this came the God Emperor. The one true God of this universe would not abandon his children, and so he appeared on Terra, the ancient earth of humanity's birth, and there he set about his task. For in his wisdom he knew that for humanity to survive, it would need to be united once more under his glory. The ancient tribes of ancient Earth joined him, and from them he raised his armies and constructed his Astronomicon, the psychic choir that acts as a beacon to guide ships through the perilous warp. From the genes of his own sons, the God Emperor created his Space Marines, the Angels of Death. But his sons, the Primarchs themselves, were lost like the colonies, scattered across the stars. One by one, in his great crusade, he recovered his sons, and he recovered the lost worlds, and once more he united humanity under one banner. But in the cruelest twist of fate, he was betrayed. His favorite son, the arch-traitor Horus, cursed be his name, desired his father's power, and using his authority as war master, seduced the cruelest half of his father's armies and turned them against the God Emperor, burning a destructive path to Holy Terra itself, where he laid the Imperial Palace under siege. Brother faced brother in a civil war that lasted until the God Emperor himself, along with his two noblest sons, Blessed Sanguinius and Rogel Dorn, the Praetorian of Terra, launched a counterattack, boarding the arch-traitor's own flagship. Their forces were divided by dark treachery, and so Blessed Sanguinius found the arch-traitor first. Righteous anger fueled the God Emperor's truest angel, but the dark power that had taken Horus's heart ignored all rules of engagement, leaving Sanguinius martyred on the deck of the bridge. The God Emperor came upon them then, and seeing Blessed Sanguinius fallen, challenged his favored son to battle. They fought, but the God Emperor's divine heart knew no evil, and could not bring himself to kill his traitorous son. In this hesitation, Horus, cursed be his name, rose and attacked, mortally wounding his divine father's body. The arch-traitor stood over his father, poised to strike the killing blow, when a single mortal guardsman stood in his way. There was nothing the guardsman could do to hinder or harm the arch-traitor, and Horus, cursed be his name, knew it. He slew the man, out of casual cruelty, before the God Emperor's eyes, and our great father knew that his son's heart was dead, and in that instant unmade him. Body and soul destroyed, Horus, cursed be his name, was no more, and it was there Rogel Dorn found the scene. On his broad shoulders the God Emperor was brought back to the Imperial Palace, and placed upon the ancient and arcane life support known as the Golden Throne. And there, our God Emperor remains, eternal, undying, and guiding us still through the light of the Astronomicon. I'm Sam, everyone's favorite dungeon master, or I suppose game master since we're not playing a D&D-like game. I will be running Rogue Trader for some amount of time until we decide that somebody else wants to take a turn. With me at the table are 5 friends. More may be joining us later. Some people may leave, who knows. We're going to go around the table, introduce our characters, and then we'll start playing for real. I hope that wasn't too heavy-handed to start with. But that's the state of the universe in the 41st millennium in the Warhammer 40,000 universe, which is our setting for today. To my left, rocking the title of Rogue Trader.
I'm Josh, and I'm playing Richard Johnson, the Rogue Trader.
Well, yeah.
Okay, I'm Liam. I'm going to be playing the Navigator. My name is Casimir Larange.
And I'm Joe. I'll be playing Solomon Sonny Progenium. Most people just call me Sonny.
Terrible. He's got a good smile. I like him.
What are you?
Wait, yeah.
Sonny's a cleric.
Okay.
He spreads the good word. The only word.
And I'm Coley. I'm going to be playing Old Man Jenkins.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
I'm an arch.
What happened?
I'm an arch militant.
come
How
to
did we
this?
let this happen?
Don't worry, boys. Old man's here.
I'm pretty
it's
sure-
the best role he can do.
I'm
is let
pretty
him
sure that was heresy before 40K happened.
I'm Zach, and I am playing Vincenzo Goro More Feinstein, a seneschal. Senskal.
Essential?
Sensual?
Essential.
I think it's pronounced
Like
essential.
essential.
Snetchel.
Essential.
I pronounced it as Senscal for the longest time, and that's not right.
So senescal?
Essential.
Sensual.
So
Essential.
are you
Essential.
Essential.
like
Essential.
Shelly scowl.
Are you the great descendant of Zool? Goro?
No.
No.
That's not his last name.
Gorom, I think, was Zul's last name. And
Goro.
also, that's my middle name.
Yeah.
It could have been switched around.
Though he is Italian and Jewish? That's all right.
And French.
There's no nationalities don't exist in
Yeah,
this
like,
universe.
We are everything.
It's more planet origins than it is.
Yeah.
Where was
country
your
origins.
planet origin?
And you
Mr.
can have any mix
Imperial.
of accents and just switch between them as you choose.
I was Australian for one point in
Yeah,
time.
that was weird.
because it was a death world.
He was a tech priest from a death world. That will never see the light of day. Thank goodness. All right. So just so everybody knows, we're not rogue traders yet. We'll get there.
What am I?
You're just the class rogue trader.
Well, right now you're. Well, let me start, I guess,
Please do.
because I've got more stuff written down. I've written a lot down. I think I shall retire on a planet with an ocean. Captain Walter Garden lies dead.
Oh.
You've served under him your entire naval career, from your first days as a cadet, seconded from your scholar class, to the 3 most recent and proud years as his first officer. But now, the captain, who is almost 378, and despite numerous rejuvenate treatments, had begun to look his age. His proud, wide shoulders slumped, the lines on his face are deep scars, and all trace of life has left his eyes. He lays dead on the floor, and you know that while it wasn't your fault, it was you that killed him.
We all killed him?
Probably.
No, just, what's...
Is this one of those multiplayer cutscenes where everybody sees it at the same time, but only
Richard
the host
Johnson.
gets to do it?
Richard Johnson.
Yeah, it'll say you did it and pans to a unique person for each of us.
Yeah.
So everybody's on the bridge of... What's the name of your ship there?
The McKlesson.
The
The
McKlesson.
McKlesson. Everyone's on the bridge of the McKlesson.
I like the McKlesson. That's a good name.
What's your?
Captain Walter, or Gardens, lays dead.
Damn shame.
And next to him lies his assassin, a malfunctioning servitor that he cut into 3 pieces in a heroic rescue of you, because this thing, a servitor is a cyborg unit. It's basically criminals. Sometimes they're grown in vats, but basically because of the fall of the dark age of technology, AI, artificial intelligence, abominable intelligence, has been banned. So all technology needs to incorporate the human form in some way, or be so basic that it can't form its own. It can't have true artificial intelligence.
Like a calculator.
So for things that require advanced operation, you need servitors, which are basically cyborgs that have been lobotomized and directed to a single task. This servitor lies in 3 pieces on the deck of the bridge here. How it got there is a mystery. The door to the bridge had sprung open. This thing leapt through, and it was clawing at your throat.
Richard.
Richard, I keep on wanting to say
Richard!
Silver.
You can call me Dick.
All right, so clawing at Dick's throat, clawing at Dick.
Richard.
The captain, because he saw you as his protege and was rather fond of you, leapt in its path, cut it to ribbons, but it cut him to ribbons as well. So the pair of them lie dead next to each other, and the room, the echoes of the clash are still sort of reverberating about the metal walls, but now it's gone quieter. The beeps and bloops of the various consoles are starting to reassert themselves. There's this sort of soft green glow from all these panels, although there are fluorescent lights above. Most of the walls and stuff are bare wrought metal that has been either painted matte black that's begun to flake a little bit. It's a little kind of an old ship. And you've got all these screens looking out into a black star field. The ship itself, the
McKlesson.
McKlesson. I should write that down.
Should write that down.
I should write that down.
Liam, what's your name?
It's Liam. Casimir Lagrange.
Spell it for me.
You can call me Cass. Casmirre.
LeBranche?
Lagrange. Lay range.
Cass. Like from Supernatural. Got it.
You got it.
Liam is Cass. Sonny is Joe.
So Richard.
Nixon.
Johnson.
Johnson.
His name is Dick.
Colby is Old Man Jenkins.
Did you do that on purpose?
And Zach is... What's the name commonly known by?
What is yours? Joe?
Tony.
Tony.
Sonny.
I already got Sonny because that's easy to remember. Okay.
Dick.
Yeah, the McKlesson
Are
is
y-
docked at
Captain
a
Dick.
relay station. So on the border of the Deratus sector, there are a number of these relay stations. You're at station 5364. It is at the very, very end of the Detrius sector, or Deratus sector, rather. So it's kind of out of the way. It's the least important, essentially. You were just here to drop off some supplies, pick up some relief crew from them, so they're being transferring on new people. You stopped here for like a couple hours. This was not supposed to be an eventful place, but this murder has happened. This terrible accident. I mean, the servitor is dead, so there's really nobody to blame. But the captain lies dead. The servitor lies dead next to it. You're still docked at this deep space relay station, and congratulations. At least for the time being, you've been promoted to acting captain until a higher-ranking officer can come and restore order.
Excellent. Who's in the room?
So the bridge is staffed by your other players, as well as an astropath, who I suppose I should come up with a name for, because I was expecting someone to play an astropath. But the moment you've got an acting astropath whose name shall be
Alexander Graham Bell.
Alexius Bellator.
That seems fun.
No, Bellator means warrior. How about Alexius? Alexius. Astropath.
What does the astropath do?
They send and receive messages psychically across the void. So there's the astropath there, and then a number of lower sort of petty officers who actually work at the controls to shout out information that you need to perform stuff for you. Auspex scans and the like.
You, petty officer. I'm gonna need a mop. Go get a mop.
Yes, sir. He fiddles with the controls, and then salutes you again and says, "A maintenance crew has been summoned. They'll be here in a minute."
Good, great. All right, sit back down. Alexius.
He remains sitting throughout all of this.
Alexius. Go get rid of all robots on board. We can't trust them anymore.
There are no robots on board, sir.
Good job. Who the hell are you?
We've been working together
So-
for the past. I'm the
For
navigator.
about 3 years, you guys have been together on this ship. Although
It's the shock. I'm sorry.
Captain Gardens was getting towards the end of his career, and because he was a very distinguished naval officer, they kept on giving him easy jobs because he sort of already proved his mettle, and they were just kind of like, all right, until it's time for you to retire, drop off small cargo, go to and fro, stuff like that. He's got a small light frigate. It's not going into any dangerous battles, anything like that. That's why this was supposed to be such an easy routine mission, and he was literally going to retire like at the end of this voyage. And on the last stop before he went to a planet with an ocean, I suppose, this accident occurred.
Tragic.
Tragic accident that nobody saw coming.
Nobody. Nope.
This thing ran, what, a kilometer up the ship?
Yeah, so it does seem a bit strange that something like this could enter the bridge,
Can I,
because normally there are guards posted outside the door of the
is
bridge.
there a skill that lets me inspect said dead
Search.
Servitor.
Sure.
Search skill.
Search would do.
I don't
Do you have
necessarily
some
want
sort
to
of
search
scrutiny.
him. I just want to like.
Scrutiny.
I do have scrutiny.
Yeah, make a scrutiny check.
No, scrutiny's basic,
That's fine.
so I can just make a basic scrutiny check.
Yeah. You could, if you think you've got an applicable skill like tech use, perhaps because this is an item of technology. Perhaps even Medicaid or
Medicaid.
Medicaid. Yeah, Medicaid.
Zach, what's your
Is that
character's
right?
name?
Tony.
He's Tony. Tony.
Tony.
Check his pockets, Tony. What's he got?
And then Colby, what's your character's name?
I'm Jenkins.
I guess evaluate would be wrong here.
Evaluate would be figuring out the value of.
Jesus, you're older than the captain.
I'm spry.
So I'll just do a basic.
He may be younger than Captain, but just hasn't gotten any rejuvenate treatments.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's too poor.
Oh man, you're only 80 years old and you look like that.
Oh, it's hard times.
We'll fill you up with some gelatin. Don't worry.
So
I
I'll
just
do
need some
a
Botox.
basic scrutiny.
So if you're
What is scrutiny? Scrutiny is like.
Scrutiny is perception. And what you're doing is you're sort of looking it over, searching for anything out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
Kind of giving it a good gander, a squint.
That's what I want, and I roll 2, right?
Yeah, you roll a 1d100, which is 2d10. One is the tens place, one is the ones place.
Okay, 72.
72. Into it, I don't. I
So you're
minus something.
You're trying to roll under your skill.
He's trying to roll under half of his skill.
Under half your skill because you're untrained. Cool.
I guess with
So you
my
got a number of degrees of failure, and you're just kind of like, fuck, this is a mess. This thing is in 3 pieces, and you're essential. You don't deal with servitors. That's something completely out of the ordinary for you.
with my arms behind my back, I kind of loom over the servitor and look down to
Okay.
try to see.
We should also describe the character.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
you're
I think
looming.
when you step up, so let's reset. Let's
Yeah.
do a little reset. When you step into this scene,
Describe yourself.
describe
Yeah.
yourself and how you sort of appear. So like Zach just sort
Let's-
of
yeah.
Zach just sort of like
Let's start
phased
with
in.
Tony.
Well, we'll start with
Dick.
Captain
Dick.
I prefer dick penis.
All right. So acting
Hand.
Captain Dick. What do you look like?
Foot penis?
And how do you react to seeing your mentor of many years be brutalized in front of you?
It's all business. It's all business, and this happens a lot.
That's what he loved about you. He taught you to be stern and stoic.
I'm taking control as you would have wanted as I was waiting. So my build is square. I'm a very square. I'm a wall of a man. 5'11". I've got some gray hair, but real brown on top. And I have my hands on my hips, pushing out my chest at all times, and only swiveling to meet people.
Are you Kaiba dancing?
Just kind of turning a little bit.
He's a keyboard turner.
All right, excellent.
So
and
now-
you're the only sea of calm in this. You're the only point of calm in this sea of mild panic.
Yes, I would hope so. I have resistance to fear.
So do I.
so now Tony steps up.
So Tony steps up.
Yeah.
He's a older but not old, so middle-aged, I guess. Pretty good in shape. His hair is slicked back, I guess.
What color is his hair?
It's black.
Black.
He's got kind of darker skin. He's more
Does
Italian than Jewish.
Does he flip out a switchburn comb to
Yeah,
comb
yeah,
his
yeah.
hair?
Oh yeah, it's greased, but it's greased good though.
grease.
It's
You
not-
can add that to your character sheet. You have a switchblade comb.
Of course, the greaser's the first one to walk up to the corpse.
Hey, yo! Looks like this guy's been stabbed.
Oh, I wonder what could have happened here.
He's clean shaven. He's got a very defined jaw, green eyes.
Closes the eyes on the captain and says, "Stay golden, pony boy."
Golden pony boy. He's got an air about him of charisma, like he could talk his way out of any situation.
So he's smooth.
He's smooth.
Ooh.
He's as smooth as a. What's an alcohol that's smooth in this universe?
Amnesic?
That sounds kind of bad.
Well, it'll give you amnesia.
He's as smooth as a 4,000 year. Is it
40,000.
40,000 year old
port.
My
vodka.
God.
Yeah, he's as smooth as a 40,000-year-old bottle of wine from the old country.
Terra.
The old home country of Italy.
That's just vinegar.
Roma,
That's just vinegar.
just like Mama used to make.
Olive oil.
yeah. So, and he's got like I don't know what void armor looks like. No, mesh armor.
Yeah.
So xenomesh armor is basically like ballistic weave. So it's your normal clothing that's been reinforced.
Okay.
Can it look like a leather jacket?
You're in a greaser jacket.
No, I have robes on apparently.
Okay,
Yeah.
that seems fair. You're a
I'm
Essential.
like a
yeah. What are essentials?
So he's
Master of
in
coin.
Master of coin, Master of whispers, and
I'm like a
all-around
really
cool
sexy Varys.
Okay,
Yeah, he's our.
so you're the. Okay.
I'm also like a spy master.
sort of a combination.
Yeah, it's like a spy master thing, and you have to like talk. So like when the rogue
so
trader's like
Varys.
when Cap, good old Captain Walter there, Walter Gardens,
acting captain.
previously acting Captain Walter Gardens there. You guys remember, right? We'd roll up like we rolled up here, and he was like, he really wanted to dock at one of the docks higher up. Like one of the better docks, and I went in there, and this is the best I could guess.
You had to preset the dock.
So this is a relay station, and it's pretty small. It's like maybe 175 people. It is minuscule. Your ship almost dwarfs this thing, even though your ship is not that big. Basically, it's just a place for an astropath to stay and relay messages, and a number of auspex, which is sort of scanners and radars and things like that. The Deritus sector is known for being mostly consumed by something called the Miserable Veil, and there's listening posts like this all the way along it. This happens to be the one furthest away from it, and therefore like the least important, which is why you were visiting it in the first place.
Yeah.
The what veil?
Miserable Veil. So you're on the border of Sector Deritus. And how did you, so besides giving it a look over, how did you react to the captain's death?
He would probably be like, so Tony
I saw you flinch.
would probably be like, oh shit, I was supposed to see that coming. Whoops.
Okay. So then I step over to the servitor and kind of loom. You can see Casimir is a very tall at 8'1". He has blonde hair, blue eyes,
But
impeccable.
he's only like 8 inches across. Keep that in mind.
Surprisingly, a strength of 36. So like normal strength.
Okay.
I don't know. He has immaculate features, and he's dressed in like the traditional garb of.
A flowing,
Yeah.
mostly covering robe that obscures your forehead.
And I sort of look down at the servitor and say, an unlikely assailant. He looks calm, but you can almost see at the edge of his features he seems to be a bit on edge, as if he's holding back whatever's deep inside.
There's one little bead of sweat.
Yeah.
Like a single bead of sweat that you catch and like wipe away.
Flick off into the air. And I'll do a quick search.
Okay. Scrutiny?
Scrutiny.
Or do you have any other skills you think might be applicable?
Not really. Okay. I
Try
rolled
and use
ex-
some of your powers on it.
I did exactly the same.
70.
So you're just looking at this mangled corpse and you're like,
So,
you don't
so
know.
I like
Yeah.
Tony like crouches down, and he's like trying to figure out any indication of this thing. So he's like crouched and looking at it. He's like, Cass, well, I can't make heads or heads of this. I don't know anything about this. What do you think? And he like glides over with his hands behind his back, basically. And he said whatever he said, and just, oh, I don't know.
There are 2 more officers in this.
I do know one thing. A servitor does not act on its own will.
Yes.
Bullshit! It attacked me.
God just
I
told
almost
us
died.
AI was illegal.
From away across the bridge, you hear a stern voice. Heresy.
It was him.
Oh no, it's this
followed
guy.
by the loud clinking of plate armor. Conspicuous.
We should have kept it
clinking.
down.
The officer cleric clads his way towards the corpse, and he has
Clanking and clattering.
yeah. He's got a sword on his side, a lever shotgun slinged around his back, and a crossbow as well.
What a fucking priest.
He's got a bandolier of shotgun shells across his plate armor.
He's here to collect your sins.
He's got this permanent grin on his face.
God damn it. I'm sorry.
Sorry, everybody.
Why did Siri just
Casimir, turn off your phone. Sonny's here.
And Sonny leans down and scrutinizes the bodies.
Okay. Everybody's using scrutiny. There's no Medicaid. There's no tech use.
I don't know any of that shit.
Nope.
Okay. 44 is a pass.
44 is a pass.
Do you have?
Excellent.
Are you trained in it?
Yes, I am plus 10 in scrutiny.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, 44 is not a pass. 44 is a failure by 3.
Failure by 3.
I'll use a fate point to get 10. So
All right.
that way we can at least scrutinize this guy.
4 people standing around this fucking servitor just going like,
if
oh.
I didn't even try.
Thing, that's fine. There's still more for you to do. But so you're gonna spend a fate point and make it a success.
Yeah.
All right. So you're the first person to actually touch this thing.
Yeah.
And in your gauntleted hand,
Yeah.
the rust and dirt that has caked this thing, you just sort of swipe it, and all this apparent like old crusty dust and stuff just slides off like paint.
By the Holy Emperor's left testicle.
And the metal beneath is in pristine
That
condition.
seems a little heretical.
Spit it out, Sonny. What'd you find?
That's blasphemy, dude.
No one here is going to call me out on it. I am the man.
What man?
Do you say that?
No.
All right, so you notice that whatever made this servitor look in disrepair is artificial.
This
This
servitor
there's
is in
nothing-
fine condition.
Yeah.
It is not an old defective unit.
Old man Jenkins, what's your opinion?
Old man Jenkins roars out of his seat.
Security! Where are the guards?
He walks out the front, the main entrance,
The blast chute.
doors, and I look for the guards.
So the corridor here is completely empty, save for another corpse. One of the 2 guards that normally flank the doors to the bridge is laying slumped next to this door, with a stain of blood down the wall. He too is dead.
Useless.
But you know normally there's 2 guards. The other guard is nowhere to be seen.
Where's the other one?
And in fact, you know the guards on duty. This guy's name was like Harold or something, and he's dead.
I never trusted him. Why did I put him in charge?
What a traitor getting his throat slit.
I'm gonna look like up and down around. Is there any other blood stains or anything around here?
In the hall, no, but you do notice that where he's sitting, blood is beginning to flow down basically where he's sitting, but there's some other fluid there too that's more orange and chunky. Also, as someone who's seen a lot of combat in his day, you notice that this wound in his forehead and the blast mark behind him are characteristic of a gunshot rather than any sort of melee attack.
Huh. I guess I should explain what Old Man Jenkins looked like.
Yeah.
So, Old Man Jenkins, although he's an old man, has a surprising amount of like agility to him. Most of the time he's like bent over because his back really hurts. So when he's bent over, he looks like he's like 5'4", 5'5". But then when he starts going, he stands up. He's about like 6'2", and he's got bulky carapace armor on. He has plates implanted in his skin from subdermal armor, and he is just one hell of a firecracker.
Got a lot of tall guys on this ship.
I'm average.
Same.
Well, Harold, let's see what happened to you. I start poking over the body.
All right. So
I saw it.
Just like pokes
Stick
the
my
gunshot wound.
stick my finger in that yellow goo and give it a little feel.
If you don't
Little
touch it.
sniff.
all right, you can give me a scrutiny, and as you're getting in there, you can have a +10 for easy.
It's insanely intense acid. Ooh.
I taste it.
Whoa! Oh boy, that's a fail.
By a
That's
lot.
a 69.
69.
69.
You just win the game if you roll it.
It's something organic, maybe vomit. Who knows? But I mean, people crap themselves when they die. People barf when they die. You know, he got shot in the head. Who knows what neurons fired as that happened?
We did eat carrots today at lunch.
Can I kind of see where that yellow fluid's coming from?
It doesn't seem to be leaking out of him.
Oh,
But you did fail, so who knows?
yeah, well. Anybody know anything about yellow fluid?
You say to the empty hall.
I sort of I poked my head back through the blast doors. Anyone know anything about yellow fluid and gunshot wounds to the head? And where's the other goddamn guard?
He's going on again about this yellow fluid.
You senile bastard.
Sit back
Who
in the
you
chair.
calling senile?
Sonny, what the fuck did you see down there?
You mean right here?
Yeah,
Right in front of us.
I haven't crouched down yet.
He's still like.
Sonny stands up and you look into his gray eyes.
How tall are you?
Okay, I'm like 6'2".
Oh my.
I look up a bit.
This servitor was not defective.
So it was brand new.
It's a new servitor.
I think he means it was intentional.
This servitor was perhaps commanded, or perhaps it came to its own will somehow.
It's a new model of servitor.
Captain,
Well, it's just a guy.
you wouldn't happen to have any enemies that you should tell us about?
I think the old captain was the one with the enemies.
Well, it initially attacked him.
Oh yeah.
Well, yes, I do have a rival.
You
Is it
do.
red or blue?
Or
is it orange?
their name escapes me at the moment. I'm in shock.
That
Would
seemed
you like the name of your rival?
Yes, I'm trying to recall it. Hold on.
A while back, while serving under Captain Gardens, you ran afoul of a rogue trader. You're not one to take insult very lightly, and he's someone who tends to use insults very liberally.
Damn him.
And your indignant response rubbed him the wrong way, and you've been enemies ever since.
It's a vicious
And
cycle.
You know that he's an absolute bastard by the name of Thaddeus Rathtalion Anchorstar.
I hate him because I can't write his name down fast enough.
Thad.
Thad.
Yeah, you can call
He's
him
such
Thad.
a Thad. Oh, it's Thad.
Rival. All right. Well, how do you? Do you go as the name again? Thaddeus.
Thaddeus Rathtalion.
Raptalion.
Rathtalion.
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 Okay.
Anchorstar.
Such a long and stupid name. I hate it. I hate even saying it right now.
Even his name is insulting.
Hey, Sonny. Does that thing have any guns on it? Or has it just got claws?
So having inspected this, Sonny, I thought you called him Sonny because he's your son, but no. You can call anybody Sonny.
I can call a lot of people Sonny.
Sonny, you're the one who inspected this. It has one robotic arm, which seems to be kind of like a big industrial clamp, and the other arm was human, and it was holding a kind of like a work knife almost.
And was the clamping Richard?
The clamp almost grabbed Richard, and it was the knife that struck the fatal blow on Captain Gardens when he interceded and hacked off first a leg and then the head of the servitor.
No, old man, it's just got a knife and his servitor clamp.
He used the
Well-
clamps. The clamps.
I got a guard out. I only got one guard out here. I don't know where the other one is, but this guard kind of has a bullet hole through his head.
Which one was it?
It was what was it, Harold?
Harold.
Useless.
Harold's a great guard.
No,
He'll
he's
be missed.
useless. He's dead.
Petty officer, send a letter to Harold's family.
Right if I hand.
Do we do that for non-officers, sir?
That we do now. I'm the captain.
Immediately, sir.
Sit back down.
He begins typing away. Again, never stood up.
Well, this is a damn kerfuffle we have on our hands.
Sonny conspicuously steps up to the dead guard and does a Medicaid check.
Okay,
I guess I'll follow him as well.
make that check. And since it's quite obvious that he's been shot in the head, you can have a plus 10.
Figured it out. Ooh.
21, I know.
All right. So he is sitting in a pool of vomit that is slowly becoming overtaken by a pool of blood. He
Is that the
was
yellow
shot
stuff?
in the head. That's the yellow stuff.
His vomit is yellow.
His vomit is yellow. Do you
What was
have,
he eating?
Do you have any Nutri-Slurry and corpse starch rations as is standard for a voidsman? But you've seen voidsmen void their guts before, and it's not normally quite this pus yellow. It also smells kind of weird. So he's obviously eaten something else as well. And do you have any equipment on you to assist in this Medicaid?
I have a writing kit and can take notes.
Okay.
I have a med kit.
He has clearly consumed something not standard with what he would be fed normally on board your ship.
What?
So, Shiny, you think we got some poisoning here?
No, he was shot.
Well, I know that, but you're saying he ate something weird.
Oh, yeah. But I'm pretty sure the bullet to the head killed him.
Well, yeah, that's probably true.
What kind of gun does it look like, Captain?
Oh, that's a good question. You got how many degrees of success was your success?
Oh,
Just call him captain.
Cleric.
cleric.
What the fuck?
Sorry.
Perhaps father? I don't know.
It was one.
One degree of success.
One extra degree, yeah.
With assistance from
Old
the
man
arch-militant
Jenkins?
who knows these sort of things, you'd imagine that it's consistent with the las gun that he himself carries.
Las gun.
Is his las gun there?
His las gun is with him. It lies across his chest. He's sort of slumped in a sitting position,
I reach
almost
down.
as if he's sleeping.
No, I
I
pick
reach
it up.
down and check the charge pack.
I take it. Get out of here. You're not here.
I literally said I was here.
He pushes him over.
So old man Jenkins is picking the gun up to examine it, and this long thin hand just creeps in and pulls the power pack out. The power pack is at full charge,
No rounds.
and he has 3 other packs on him that are also at full charge.
no rounds discharged.
The gun is unfired.
Not his gun.
I stick it in my case.
Okay,
dead
you
marine.
have a common quality las gun, which I
Sick.
think is worse than your. Well, you've got bolt pistols. Never mind.
I got bolt pistols and a dagger.
Would the ship have security cameras of any kind?
Yes, it probably would.
I'd like to check those security cameras.
All right.
While he does that, I yell over to Alexius. Alexius, summon some of our guards and have them look for the other guard who is supposed to be on duty too.
Kumar.
Well, who was he? I would know that.
At once, he turns to one of the petty officers. Summon the guards that were on duty.
No,
And sit down.
Alexius is kind of weird too because he's an astropath. He has 2 robotic eyes because his were burnt out. No, he doesn't have robotic eyes. He just has a cloth over them because they were burnt out.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm going
But,
to.
All astropaths have burnt out eyes.
who was the other guard supposed to be on
He's
duty?
just our radio.
The other guard that was supposed to be on duty.
Did I just tell him to
Did
get
I
a
write
mop?
that down?
Oh, shit.
You can't mop your blinds.
Giles.
Giles? Who's that?
That's the other guard who was supposed to be on duty.
Yes, Harold and Giles.
I'm going to look for his bunkmate. Somebody who might have known what Harold had been eating.
Okay, that would be down in crew quarters, so it's a bit of a walk.
Okay.
and a couple of elevator rides.
Then I make my way towards the elevator.
The weirdest.
Okay, so you leg your way along this creepy ass dude.
All right, I'm doing it. Every time he walks, he does the fucking like reach out with his legs.
Yeah, like that's sort of what I was imagining too. Where he stays still, his leg goes out, and then brings the rest of him to it.
walking backwards.
He's like a cartoon character.
Man, oh, this is great already.
All right. Sonny takes
So
his
he's on
shotgun
his way. You're taking a shotgun.
and levers it.
All right, you have a round chambered.
Yep. And then I load another round in because I'm intending to fire this gun.
Why?
And I follow.
Oh, okay.
And I follow. I follow good old Casimir.
Okay, so Casimir and Sonny are headed down to the crew quarters.
Tony, what do you want to do? You want to do something?
Yeah, I want to check the security cameras. I tell
Let's
old man,
look at security.
old man
Yeah. Yes.
Jenkins.
Yes.
He would have the security codes for security stuff.
I need to access the security cameras to see what's going on.
Let's do that.
Wipe it
Close
down.
the blast doors. Shh. Nobody in or out.
Does the new captain want?
You are at dock with the listening station, but the listening station is not that big.
You crush a guy in the doors as he's like carrying stuff between the two.
So are you doing
get
all blast doors on the ship?
No, just
Just
the
the
bridge,
bridge?
at the moment.
That's sort of what I figured.
Yeah, let's just make sure our new captain's safe for now.
Okay,
Captain-
the most
Captain
valuable
Dick.
member of your crew is headed towards the crew, the crew quarters, though.
That's okay.
He's fine. He's got good old Sonny over there.
All right. So
You might want to clean out that shotgun.
no wet shotguns this campaign.
All right, Tony.
So
Tony and Dick, let's look at the cameras quick.
all right, you've got the
Did you
codes, and it's-
intend to do that rhyme?
No.
You're not here.
Tony
Yeah.
and Dick, let's.
But
All
Dick's still in the Cat and Dick is still in the.
Oh, he's outside of the room.
I thought he was in the room with a dead body.
Is he? One of you
bridge
is in
is
the hallway.
The bridge is the room with the dead body.
Oh, okay. So
I'll
actually,
follow
you're
old man.
Also, the hall
I trust
has a
him.
dead body. There are two dead
Yeah,
bodies.
yeah, yeah.
I trust all my officers to make orders.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, old man.
So you guys
Let's
pull up
look at
the
the
security
security.
tapes on a monitor, and you know that
Who's you?
what?
Who's you?
Oh, you right. So
Jenkins.
Jenkins, old man Jenkins knows that only members of the security team have access to these records, and all of the records for about 2 hours before this servitor attacked have been deleted, and they've been deleted very sloppily. This was not a clean job. It is obvious, and it's easy to tell this.
So
Like,
there's some
not,
records
there's not
that
even
say
a loop
like
put there. It's just gone.
someone. Are there records of who's accessed
The
the
logs.
security logs?
Search the logs, man.
Last-
Giles was the last person to access the security logs.
Giles was the
The
other guy.
missing guard.
What you see, old man? What's happening?
Giles,
Giles. Who's Giles?
the other security guard.
Oh,
Can we track him
We-
down?
we had
with
two?
with the cameras.
Also, when the security camera stuff comes back on, which is like a good 30 minutes before the attack, the hallway is empty and the corpse is there. So this corpse has been sitting there for a little bit while, and then the servitor comes down the hall and enters.
Where does it come down the hall from?
The left?
my God.
Can I try and like search through the cameras, like follow the path of the servitor, like backtracking?
To its
That's a good
origin.
idea. So
Yeah. That's where I was kind of going with my thing too.
so
Thanks for the idea, Tony.
Yeah, yeah.
you do so a decent way, and then it hits that section of security data missing, pretty much right before it exits the large cargo bay, and you know that a lot of cargo is going out and on to this listening post because you were bringing food supplies and stuff, as well as some relief crew members while taking crew members on from this place.
Wait, so the cargo bay is not on our ship; it's on
the cargo bay
station
is
that
on
we're-
your ship,
it's on our ship.
which is connected to that's where the ship is docked, is with the cargo bay.
So I
A
would
great big airlock there.
So I would guess that it probably came on from the station through the cargo bay and then sort of wound its way up to the bridge.
Would you guess that, or would you say that because it's on the
I-
camera?
Well, a little bit.
And
of both.
somehow its path managed to dodge. It was always going through an empty hallway. There was never somebody in the hallway when it was moving.
Old man, I think there's a mole in your security force.
Yeah, we need to find Giles. Who here is in
Giles,
charge?
need you on the ribber.
Giles to the bridge. Giles to the bridge.
Hey, Captain! Find Giles! Sit down!
Contact all security and have a
Maybe
lookout put out
no,
for
no.
Giles.
Your communications are not trusted. Your
Well,
communication channels probably aren't trusted.
well,
So you
Well.
have a shipwide. You have a shipwide sort of PA announcement thing. You have a security channel. You have channels that go to specific areas for specific crew members, like engineering, weapon batteries, things like that. You also have an officer's channel, which is your microbead.
do I have one that goes
you
to?
can put on a red alert.
What's administratium?
Administratum. They are a organization dedicated to doing paperwork and making sure that the Imperium runs smoothly. So there are all the clerks, all the and anyone who needs permission for bureaucracy. They're the red tape.
They worship the god of paperwork.
do I have one that's like direct to the people manning the doors to the station?
That would be well. You could talk to the cargo bay,
Cargo bay.
and you could also do a security channel because you've got a number of your
Well,
security team overseeing. this
Giles,
transfer.
Giles is on the security, so he would
so
get
that's
that,
what I'm
wouldn't
saying. Tony is saying that the security
channels are not
force
secure.
is not secure because somebody clearly in your organization of the ship.
he? No, let's not go pointing some blame here.
Well, maybe instead of having your 3 a.m. bath naps,
Listen, I don't want any arguing on my ship.
3
You're all
a.m..
allies here. I smashed the red alert button.
what? No,
No.
Put this ship on red alert right now.
I want to stop him.
I'm the captain.
The fluorescent lights dim, and
This is an emergency.
red flashing lights
Oh no,
glow,
we're all dead.
and the klaxon sounds. The ship is now on red alert. There's this grating siren that wails repeatedly. It's awful. The ship is on red alert, and the PA channel opens. You can say your piece.
Find Guile. Kill Guile.
So you guys hear that over there?
We're just in the.
Can I give a description of this sort of scene that's going on down the hallway?
Sure.
We've got these like blinking, dimmed out lights and this whirring, blasting like siren, and we've got this lanky guy moving down.
You're walking down a perfectly normal hallway. You make it to the lift. The lift door is open. There's a janitor holding a mop, and then all of the red alert sirens go off. The lights go down, and it's as you say.
Yeah,
And you've got your shotgun out, and there's this terrible specter.
This plated thing, and then this like lanky visage behind me, this like shadow of a man, and we just come strolling into this elevator with this janitor, and he gets out, and
He's
the
like
doors close
slides
behind him.
out.
So do the elevators lock it in a lockdown situation?
I use my key card.
Yeah. You've all got codes for override stuff because this is your ship.
I certainly would.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tap my micro bead to Cass and Sonny. Hey, you two, be on the lookout for Giles. He well,
Okay,
Don't
I
look
have
at
one.
me.
I have a microbead.
Cass, be on the lookout for the other security guard.
Can you?
He's possibly the one that killed everybody.
I'll keep an eye out.
He's almost certainly the one that killed that.
Yeah.
Can you
yeah,
ask
he's
the
the one.
captain to please turn off that infernal noise?
No.
Just shout no into the microphone.
Oh no! I like to think that he shouts no into the loudspeaker. No!
All right. Around this time, you receive a call on the security channel. You being Old Man Jenkins there, from the security team down in the cargo hold. This is Terrence. Just coming up with names.
Yes, Terrence.
Terrence Willick.
Oh God, Terrence, not him.
And Terrence's parents have a real good marriage.
Oh, I like how all of us have like fancy names, and then there's just Terrence.
Sir, red alert has been activated. I've closed the cargo hold because that's normally what we do. I was unsure, so I decided it was better to close it. Is that all right?
That's fine. Have you seen Jenkins? Not Jenkins.
Jenkins.
What is the
Have you
implication?
seen
You're
Giles?
Jenkins, sir.
What is the
Only at the weekly meeting, sir.
what is the implication of closing the cargo hold? So it's closing it
So
from
the ship is closed off from where you've docked.
listening post.
From the listening post, yeah.
Yeah, so now the airlock is closed.
The airlock is sealed.
Yeah, keep it sealed. Make sure if you see Giles, arrest him immediately.
All right.
Casimir, do you know what Giles looks like?
Do I know what?
So
Can
the
I
security team
do?
has now been alerted to searching for Giles.
Can I do an intelligence check to see if I can remember how Giles looks?
You could ask me.
You are a navigator, and you don't spend a lot of time with the crew for
Okay.
obvious reasons.
So I'm gonna.
He was outside the door when you arrived, so you could give me a nice little intelligence check, sure.
Most people you see are turned around and running.
Can this be a perception check?
That's
It could be a perception check. I
either way, I
suppose.
fail. 2 degrees of failure.
2 degrees of failure. You tend not to pay attention to the crew. The crew tends to avoid your gaze.
Yeah, I send a message to
Jenkins?
Jenkins,
Yes.
can I get a description on Giles? Also, give me a description for the dead guard as well.
Harold?
Yes.
Harold is about average height, average build, blonde hair, blue eyes.
One of which has been shot out.
Hole in the head,
One's gone. A pretty
covered
nice
in
fella.
fecal matter.
Giles,
All burnt up.
yeah, Giles had black hair. I'd say about 5'11", medium build, wearing normal security outfit. He has a pin that says "I love to read."
Not standard issue.
No, not serious. I've yelled at him a couple
And
times for
the
it.
security team normally wear flak armor.
What's
which
like
is
the
Yeah,
much
he's got
lower
what's
flak
quality.
like the 40K like live strong pin?
It's probably,
It's probably I love to read.
or it's like I love the Emperor.
Well, he's
It's
probably
like
got
it's
an
like a little
Aquila pin,
iron
but that would
throne.
be
It's
it.
like a little golden throne.
It's a scholastic book.
What rank was Giles? Ask him that.
What rank were the two?
What rank were the Giles?
They were officers, but they were low petty officers, so they were high enough rank to be guards to the bridge, but not just security grunts.
Yeah.
Does
Petty
that have,
officer.
like a unique uniform?
They've got an extra stripe on their shoulder and little trim on their cuffs.
Would they have a name tag?
They all have name
I
tags.
think every soldier's
making
uniform
sure.
has a name.
Giles, I love to read.
Cass, you be careful. I'm gonna come down and help you in a couple minutes. So where are you
It's
going?
gonna take you a while to get down there.
Yeah. Working on it.
We're
Gotta
going.
run. Ship's too long.
Too long. The movie's over.
We're going to the crew quarters.
All right, I'll be down there in a minute.
Why don't we go to the cargo hold?
You
We
might
could
want
do
to
that
go
too.
to the cargo hold.
You
Dick.
might want to go to the cargo hold.
Dick,
Oh yeah, go on.
So
We-
the
we
cargo
should
hold
prob-
is kind of in the center of the ship. The crew quarters is kind of in the prow of the ship, and the bridge is kind of in the back of the ship. So you're going to one of the farthest places from.
Okay.
The
Are there
bridge.
walking
And
elevators?
Under the bridge, there is engineering and all the engine power stuff.
Are there like elevators that go?
Sideways.
So there are sideways elevators. And but every single elevator on this ship feels like you're going down, even when you're going up and to the side. It's a quirk of the artificial gravity. Just no matter what, when you're moving in an elevator, it feels like you're going down.
Are we moving?
Now the
Dick.
diagonal elevator.
That one feels like you're going in.
What? Hold the door. What floor? 13th floor. please.
Oh no! Whoa!
Fucking hate this elevator.
I also really like the idea that like every time you get into one of these, you're just sort of like, ooh.
In the direction.
Everybody's like politely standing and it's just like.
Oh, sorry.
Like There's nothing nice about them. They're just like these freight elevators that
They're like
just throw you
diesel.
around.
Everyone gets out to shovel. They're like,
Well, they can't have cables, so they just kind of got gears that they roll along tracks with.
I like to think they're like maglevs or something. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Whoa.
Now,
what, Jenkins? Spit it out.
Dick, we should.
What'd you call me?
Captain now.
Captain Dick.
Captain Dick.
There you go.
Oh,
Acting captain.
we should have a lookout for any escaping ships, and we probably should send security teams to the sensitive areas of the ship, like the
Yeah.
engines
Send the
and anything explosive.
unsecure security team.
Good idea.
I
Shut
guess
up.
that's my call noise.
Why is it wet too?
Who are you calling?
Why are all your sound effects wet?
I have moisture in my mouth. I can't help it.
Who are you calling?
I'm calling Jenkins.
Yeah, Cass.
Jenkins,
Yeah,
you may want to protect the generators for the Geller field.
yeah, that's probably a good one. Security channel.
I've got
Stop using your security channel.
demons
sir.
on my mind and mind on my demons.
Send extra teams to the Geller field.
Teams dispatched, sir.
Also
all
the
gonna die.
engines.
Do we pass anyone on our journey toward the crew quarters?
Yeah, so there are people scrambling about because it is a red alert. Most people are manning battle stations because they're not quite sure what's going on. All they know is that there's a red alert. Did you say that we're on the lookout for
Yeah.
Jenkins?
Kill Giles.
No,
That's right.
he said find or kill Giles.
Find
No,
or
I said kill
Giles.
Giles.
Keep
You
in
did
mind-
put kill in
Number
there,
of
but
security teams are running about, and most normal crew are reporting to their bunks where they do not. Well, some of the more lazy may go to bed, but most of them are standing there for inspection.
Keep in mind the red alert is still going on.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
stop. I'm gonna stop at one of the.
Do not underestimate how. Like if they can get sleep, they'll take it. They're voidsmen. They get overworked.
I'm gonna one of the guys that we're passing. I'm gonna stop him,
Okay.
but only if he's wearing a microbead.
Ooh. Is that earwax on it?
You sort of watch a couple of security guys go by until you spot one who's sort of a mid-ranked officer, and you grab him by the wrist, swing him about. He salutes the Aquila, and as his hands are across his chest, you just pull the microbead out of his ear, wipe it off, maybe. Well,
This guy has
nab his
remarkably
microbead and
clean ears.
push him on his way. Yeah. The guards at least try and keep a level of hygiene because they're military personnel.
Yeah, it's part of their uniform.
Yeah. So you take his microbead
And I tune
and
it
you
to
have
and I tune it to our channel.
this tunes to the security channel. Microbeads are not advanced enough to switch channels unless you get a best quality one.
Oh, that hurts. Stop whoever's doing that.
Who's this?
Jenkins, who's this?
Is this a security channel?
Yeah? Who
I've got
are
a feeling
you?
that this is probably breached.
Who are you? Who is this?
This is Sonny.
Oh, hi, Sonny.
Just like
Yeah, it's probably
You
breached.
hear
I mean,
the voice of the guardsman that he took this bead from, like trying to shout at his face, "Hey, give that back, sir!"
Jesus.
Okay, you're in a metal hallway.
Yeah.
All right, give me an attack roll.
I think that might ricochet.
It's a shot. It's a scatter gun.
Exactly.
You're shooting this into the ceiling. A 21.
21.
Okay, good. Fortunately, you shoot lead pellets, which deform rather quickly, and all you do is bust a couple of lights and take out one of the sirens for the klaxon in this area.
Officer, get the repair crew up here.
At once, sir.
And I load another shell in. 59.
Father,
Yes, son.
I'm going to. Oh! Father. No, that was a joke line. Hey!
One more shell.
All right, make an attack roll.
It's fucking war zone happening in my ship.
Yeah, that's fine. You
I got it.
You hit the broken thing again.
Same light.
Yes.
Could you please refrain from shooting those who are going to interview?
At first.
At all. Even one that is hostile we may need information for. I can hold them in place in case they get hostile.
With those lanky arms.
No. And I sort of tap my eye near my eyeball.
I was gonna say, did you tap on your eye?
Oh! I tap next to my eye. Or where my eye would be, because it's like covered in cloth.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, you guys continue on your way.
I
suppose.
continue to swiggity swoop my way down the hallway.
So, you've got reinforced bulkheads on the ship. So every so often you reach a doorway that needs to be. It's got like one of those big wheels that you turn and the bolts come in, and it swings open and you close it behind you, which makes going kind of slow. There's often these elevators which speed up movement quite quickly. In around like 15 to 20 minutes or so, maybe 25, you make it to the crew quarters where a great number of the crew have assembled. Keep in mind, there is over 25,000 of them.
Is there a person who runs the sort of like, because I'm assuming they're in like bunks or barracks or specific.
Yeah, so there are foremans for each sort of crew area, I suppose.
Okay. So I'll find the foreman who runs the
So the security team would be one of the security officers and or maybe your arch militant Jenkins.
Okay. Okay. Let's look for the security team. Father?
Yes, son.
Hang on, I gotta look up what clerics are referred to as. His father just doesn't seem right.
Every single time.
This knight with a shotgun. Your son.
Yeah, he's got his visor down.
We may want to look for the foreman of the security team who runs this living quarters.
You don't know where the guy lives?
I don't know.
Then why did you leave? I was following you.
I assumed that people would give me the information in time. Jenkins,
Yeah.
do you know who the running security team is for this area of the ship?
Let me think really hard.
Yeah.
Now loading.
Oh God, what is his name?
Start hearing the Wii Shop music.
Oh, what's your rank?
I'm a cleric.
All right, I suppose cleric then.
Cleric rank cleric. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it starts off at like priest or something. So I would be called cleric.
Yeah, cleric Sonny.
I like father though.
You can call me father.
I'll continue calling you father.
So God, what is
Excuse you?
My God.
what is the name of the foreman of the security team that I would obviously know?
Because I've named all 25,000 NPCs.
Yes.
Just get a name generator.
I do have a PDF of names actually. Yeah, we'll go with Henry.
With an
Henry
I.
and Harold. Henry
Terrence
is
and
the
Giles, yeah.
Henry is the foreman of security.
Okay. I appreciate the work, Jenkins.
I'm
And-
trying my darndest.
Yeah.
Have we begun moving? We as in Tony, Jenkins, and Dick begun moving to the cargo
Well,
hold?
Should we go to the
You're headed to
cargo
the
hold?
cargo hold? That's
Should
a
we-
much shorter trip.
Should we go there or should we check the field?
The field?
The shield.
What?
I can't think of the word at the
Are
moment.
you thinking of the Geller
The
field?
Geller-
The Geller Field.
I don't know. You just sent your corrupted team of security guys to it, so I think it should
Not
be all right.
all of them are corrupted.
Mhm.
Did you just send a corrupted team?
The security team is corrupted, sir?
We're
Because
sending
you're on the security channel and they can all hear you?
No, I'm on his channel.
What's
He's
my
the
Yeah.
security channel.
Yeah. The
Everybody-
security
We've all been
team
talking
shares
on the security channel.
Wait, everything
No,
he
no.
says
There's
goes
an
through it?
officer channel,
Yeah.
and then there's a security channel. You took a security officer's
Yeah.
feed, so you're
Well,
on
then
the
how was I
security
talking
channel.
to him earlier?
Because
With
he's
the
on the
security
security channel. Because he's on both.
He's the security guy.
He's a security officer. He's
Well, I already mentioned that it was corrupted.
Yeah.
This isn't the first time.
I'm a slow learner.
Who are you? Where are you?
What are you wearing?
Who am I talking to?
It's Giles. No.
My God.
I'm right behind you.
Ho, ho.
Yes. So I think
I'm assuming the Geller field is there's a generator, like a Geller field generator.
Yeah, there is a generator and projector, I believe.
Okay.
Now, does the Geller Field only need to be used
But
when we go warp?
Yes, when you're traveling, you activate it, and then you enter the warp, and then when you leave the warp, you deactivate it.
We can tell if it's working, though, right?
Yeah, you just have one of your tech priests perform a ritual of diagnostics upon it.
they have to slay 60 virgins.
No,
Whoa.
psychers. Psychers are the virgins of 40K.
Yeah, nobody would want to have sex with a psyker. I think. No, he's a tech priest, technically. Duffy's character.
Where are we going, Jenkins?
Well,
Well, we're going to the cargo hold.
Oh, we're on the way right now.
Yes.
Are we there
We're
yet?
just running. Where are we going? We're going to the cargo hold.
In a short amount of time, maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, you reach the cargo hold.
Okay. What do I see?
Anyone there?
In the cargo hold, there are a number of empty containers that have been taken off of the listing post.
I want the one with
The
the
full
Asian girl.
containers had been put on, and also sort of corralled into a little holding area almost by security officers are all of the crew that you took off of the listening station. There's about, say, 25 of them.
do any of them look like
Giles.
Giles?
About 35 relay crew are there, shifting their feet nervously. They're all old men. You think they were being taken off for retirement because you're not allowed a break in the Imperium? So they were just, it's time for them to go to a planet and live out the last of their days.
All of you, stand at attention.
They all snap into attention. Clearly, you're someone of rank. You've got fancy clothes and
The captain's
enough
dead.
nutrition to be above 5
You're
feet
the
tall.
captain.
The captain's dead. Long live the captain. I'm Captain Richard Johnson. You can call me Dick. Take off your helmets.
Most of them are not wearing helmets. The ones that are remove their helmets.
Excellent. Now puff out your chest like this and put your hands on your hips.
They do as they're bidden. They're not quite sure what's going on.
Jenkins, check
Yeah.
for a pin.
Do any of them look like Giles?
None of them look like Giles.
All right.
You're rather familiar with the officers, and of which Giles is one. So you know that he's not there,
How-
nor is he among the security.
Tony,
team here.
pat
How
them
many-
down.
How many containers we got in the cargo bay that we took
6.
on? All right.
Is there
Let's open all of them and double check
There
they're
is
empty.
also 12 servitors that have been brought on board for repair.
Jesus Christ.
Confine all those servitors.
is there like a head of shipping kind of guy in here?
That might be you.
Yeah. Who's the head of
no,
shipping?
like-
Arrest the head of shipping.
No, no,
You're
no.
the head of shipping.
There's like probably an operational head of shipping.
Yeah,
I'm a
so
logistics guy.
like the guy who wear the blue collar,
like a
the blue
supervisor,
collar
right,
supervisor.
yeah.
Yeah. The crew that were moving these containers back and forth are standing off to the side. They're also in rank and file, but they're not surrounded by security officers because they're trusted enough to just stand in place, which they're all doing quite well. They also puff out their chests when instructed.
Excellent.
But they're members of the crew, and they've dealt with your bullshit before because you've been down here once or twice.
So you said there was a servitor cargo bin?
There are 12 servitors that are all standing in states of inactivity.
yeah, I want to ask the
Excellent.
supervisor if he saw anything with the servitors or how that process went when they came on, because we're pulling them from the listening.
Yeah, you're taking them off the listening post. They're just to be
I want to know if
repaired
anything
before being
happened. I
returned.
want to know if anything happened while they were doing their job.
Well,
Report. Situation
He
report.
pulls out a data slate that looks suspiciously like a clipboard with
I'll
an
pull out mine.
iPad stapled to it. Not taped, stapled.
I take mine out.
And
Do,
he,
do we just like do we?
yeah,
touch,
he
do,
sort of
do we
sh-
touch them? Is it like one of the Bluetooth?
No, he does the thing where it like flicks and it appears on your
Oh.
screen. So he flicks a couple of things and like, well, we were set to offload 6 containers and take on 6 empty, which we have, sir. Checked, highlighted, triplicate. 12 servitors out of 12 servitors, 2 of which have already been repaired by our tech priests. 10 more are awaiting. It shouldn't take too long. Hopefully we'll be done within a day or 2 and we can be on our way. I've heard that there is a rogue security officer. That's what this terrible
That's
red
awful.
alert is about.
There's still a
I have
klaxon.
not seen him today. Yeah, that's about all there is to report.
So the servitor containers,
The servitors were walked on, sir.
okay. So they walked on. So in this room right now, there's not 12 servitors.
There are 12 servitors in this room. You can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Sir!
Good. What about the 2 that have been
These 2 are repaired.
cool? Do they look?
All the 2 that are repaired look in much better condition. A lot of their metal parts have been replaced. Their organic parts have been given several injects of various drugs, as well as a fresh container of Nutri-Slurry. The ones in disrepair look to be old, rusted, and very similar to the appearance of that rogue one. Although this is not him talking, I guess this is.
Yeah, I know. That would be my gaze on it.
I want to walk up with one of my pistols out, and I'm just gonna try and rub some of the dirt on one of the servitors, see if it comes off.
It appears to be authentic rust and dirt.
All right, I'm gonna check all of them.
Okay.
Careful, Jenkins. Careful.
Meticulously, you go down the line, scrubbing, scritching, picking with your fingernails. All of these seem to be old in disrepair servitors. So the strange rogue one appears to have been made to blend in with these.
All right, I also check all the containers, make sure they're empty.
Do I know the
All right, give me a scrutiny.
Do I know the contact that?
Can I command people? Sorry.
Yes.
You said, so how do I do that?
So you can make a command check to give an order, a mass order for a number of people.
And then what does it do?
They obey the order without question.
Does it give them a bonus, or does it just
So you have a special ability called command.
Yeah.
Technically, everybody has a special ability.
So if I was to command Jenkins to do that, would he get any sort of, as he thought of it, would he get anything for it?
Yeah, he would get a plus 10 bonus, I think. So a rogue trader's special ability, which you should write down somewhere, is as a free action once per round, you may grant an ally that you can see them plus 10 to any 1 bonus by ordering them to do that task.
I don't need to roll anything?
Nope, you can just do that.
All right.
An arch militant gets a plus 10 bonus to hit with 1 and only 1 class of weapon, and plus 2 to its damage, and plus 2 initiative when using that weapon.
I already know mine.
You did yours, so you've got Seeker of Lore, and then the Navigator. You begin with the Lister and the Boons of Lineage and all that sort of stuff.
All right, give Jenkins the command to do exactly what he's doing.
Check those boxes.
Do it.
Right away, sir.
Excellent.
All right, you can make a scrutiny test with that plus 10
I
bonus.
rolled a 22. My perception is 36.
Are you trained in scrutiny?
I am not.
Okay, so 36 becomes 18, but it's plus 10, so 28, and you rolled a 22. 22? You succeed.
I can look in empty containers.
5 of these empty containers are indeed empty, and one of them has some sort of liquid substance on the bottom of it.
Does it look similar to that yellow stuff?
It does not look similar to that yellow stuff, but it does appear to be the oils and undulants that are characteristic of servitors.
Do I know? I pull
We'll
up
check
on my
these.
data sheet the contact that we have that the servitors are coming from. Like, do we have like a?
Yeah, there's a guy
Line
on
or
board the listening post who is in charge of running the servitors. He's a tech priest. I don't know. His name is like
Yamcha.
sure.
Kill Yamcha.
You know what?
We're gonna kill
It's-
Duffy's
it's
character
Duffy's
before he
character.
gets in
Let's kill
here.
him before he gets here.
I'm gonna tell him that.
We're just preemptiving it.
I'm gonna tell him his character.
There's just a long line of Yamchas.
Well, the
a strong
tech priest,
lineage.
right? So he might have been cloned. Yamcha 1. Yamcha -1 is your contact.
God, one.
He is not on board at the moment.
Yeah, that makes
One
sense.
of these, one of the men from the group of listening post workers steps forward and is almost beaten by one of the security teams. But he says, "Sir," calling over to the closest one of you there, who's probably
Yes. Speak private.
when we were bringing the containers on board, one of them was rattling all like.
One was rattling all like.
Yeah.
Rattling.
Rattling.
Dick.
What?
Let me tell you. Captain Dick.
Yes, what?
One of these has got some fluid in it, like it was a
I don't-
servitor in
I
it.
don't think that's important right now.
I feel like that's important.
You said there was a rattling, and you're saying there's an ooze?
Yeah.
My God. Open it up.
Oh, I did open it. That's how I
So
found
these are
the
big
ooze.
containers. These are larger than like a shipping container,
is
and
this
they would have pallets and pallets and pallets of food in here.
Who?
Do I know
what's
that?
it,
Was this one of the servitor containers? I can probably like.
Tony.
So the servitors were not in a container; they were walked on. They were
To-
mobile.
Tony.
So then, would I
So
know
whatever
Where,
was in here was smuggled in here
Yeah.
in an empty
so
container.
what is the logistics on this container?
So this container was supposed to be an empty container brought on board to be used or refilled someplace else. They don't have enough space to keep empty containers in listening post endless.
So who was Tony? Who was in charge of checking the containers as it came on? They should be flayed.
I don't know. Probably someone on the.
All right, he's getting into it.
The foreman there pales in his face. It's like, well, it was him, and he points to a clearly randomly selected crew of the ship.
Flay him.
Keel haul him in space.
Bring him into the flaying quarters.
Whoa! It's just your bedroom.
Do you want that man executed?
Put him in prison. I'll
right.
talk to him later.
A pair of security guards come over and manacle the guy.
All right, goodbye. So what's wrong with this? So what's wrong with this? This carton, this travel bin. There's oil on it. There's some rattling. That means there was something happening in there, and now it's not in there.
Well, it seems like that servitor might have been smuggled in here, and that's how it got on the ship.
Well, we could have asked that guy if he forgot to check it, but he's gone now.
Well, he's been dragged in front of you in chains.
Okay.
You got a question for him?
Did you forget
Ask
to-
him.
I thought he like got dragged away. Were you supposed to check this and you forgot? What's the deal?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, kill him. He killed the captain.
Do we have a? Are we the judge, jury, and executioner?
Yeah.
No.
As an arch-militant, you could just execute this guy.
Hold on,
As
Jenkins.
the captain, you could just execute this guy. As the essential, you can't.
I'm not gonna execute him, but I can tell him to. I can go ahead.
That would be like if the accountant walks up and he's like, "Fucking kill that guy." Who?
You were going to say
I'll bring him to Sonny.
Bring him to Sonny.
Bring him to Sonny.
To confess his
Sonny's
sins.
super
Yeah,
far away.
I'm bad with these sort of things.
Speaking
I have
of
a soft
Sonny-
heart. Bring him to Sonny.
Speaking of Sonny and Cass,
Yep.
you have reached the crew quarters, and what are you doing there? They've all lined up for you.
Yeah.
Or the ones that are awake and not attending to some vital function on the ship.
We were looking
anyway.
for the foreman of the crew quarters. So
Mhm.
whoever's the guy that keeps the crew quarters in check.
Yeah.
Okay, so there
and
you're
are
looking for
several
Henry.
foremen because there's 25,000 crew.
Yeah.
So there's about 50 of these guys, and they have all arrayed themselves, tried to make themselves look smart, and you know that they have underlings that then have
Yeah.
underlings that then attend to the crew themselves.
So I'm going to basically we're trying to find out who are the associates and what were the previous actions of the two guards.
So I told you that Henry was the foreman of security.
Yeah. So basically, I walk up to Henry and go,
Yeah, so you dial in on security team.
"Petty Officer Henry."
Sir, yes, sir.
I stand
Sir, yes, sir.
over him, looking down, and I say, "I need to know."
He salutes you in the Aquila, and then he seems to make like a little symbol on himself as well.
I'm gonna do lore. What kind of lore would it be to know
You've
that?
seen people do this before. They're warding off the evil eye.
Oh, I guess I'll just ignore it. I need you to find the previous associates of the unfortunately deceased. What was his name? Sorry.
Guile.
No, not Guile.
Giles is still alive.
Gardens?
It was. Fuck, did I name him?
It was
Harold.
Harold. Yeah, Harold's dead.
The unfortunately deceased Harold and the apparent traitor Guile.
We have taken the liberty of isolating that bunk block, as we heard the announcement.
Good
We're
work.
on the lookout for Giles, but he has not been found yet.
Good work.
Rest assured, the investigation is underway. These 5 shared, hang on, 10, right? So 8. These 8 shared a bunk block with Giles and Harold.
I think me and Father here would like to speak to them personally.
Father.
All right, very good, sir. Would you like a security detail with you that is not associated with them?
Yes.
Okay, then I shall accompany you along with, let's go with 10 or 20. Is that good?
Seems appropriate.
All right. You enter into their bunk block, which is basically a small room that's like a kitchen with a wall of bunk beds. Essentially, they're all like tubes. Like when you're tired, you just go in your tube and you sleep. And there's a little kitchen area that they can prepare their rations in. The men there are standing lined up. There's not a lot of space, and they're all unarmed, and they face a veritable porcupine of bayoneted lasguns aimed at them, while the two of you arrayed around you as almost like a silhouette, while the two of you stand in front of them to interrogate.
I sort of leave them stewing a little bit and check out the kitchen.
Okay. There is a pantry filled with corpse starch rations, as well as a little vat of Nutri-Slurry, or a little, I suppose they're pouches of Nutri-Slurry. All the things that a voidsman needs to be properly fed and nutritious.
I'm going to scrutinize them to see if anything seems out of place. Some way that, like, food that doesn't look standard issue.
You notice that there is a little pot on the stove that's still about half full with rehydrated corpse starch, and a blender of Nutri-Slurry there that's mostly untouched, seemingly from breakfast. A lot of the men in this cell block look a bit pale around the gills as well. They don't seem to be doing great. One of them farts. like really bad.
I look at the how much presumably they would be getting food supplies, right? And they would be slowly dwindling in supplies until they refill. Do these look fully stocked?
It's about the middle of a week, so they're about halfway empty. That's about right.
Okay. So they have been eating normal food. It just seems like today they may not have.
Yeah, today it seems like they didn't touch their food too much, and a lot of them are looking ill.
Okay. I walk up to the man who farted.
He salutes with the Aquila.
What did you have for breakfast?
I didn't eat breakfast, sir.
What did you have for lunch?
Lunch isn't for another couple hours, sir.
What did you eat last night?
Corpse starch and Nutri-Slurry, as always.
What do you want to eat tonight?
I don't feel like eating, sir.
What if I commanded you to eat?
I would have to eat, sir.
5 o'clock. The galley. Meet me there.
Sir, we run on military time, sir. That's 1700.
Are you doing okay, Father?
Just put down your visor.
He's had an unfortunate day. He was close to the captain. Now, Private, why did you and apparently your company not eat today?
Must be a bug going around. I just feel ill.
A bug. Is there some sort of foreign virus on this ship that you have not necessarily told your superiors about?
Maybe just a little bit of scurvy. We haven't seen a proper sun in a couple months, sir.
Do they not have like UV radiation rooms or something?
They've got UV radiation rooms. These guys are bullshitting you.
And you haven't been you've been to the UV radiation room?
Give this guy the eye, Cass.
Not the eye, sir.
That just
Wards it
kills
off
him.
again.
We'll give him half an eye.
Like blink at him.
Give him a wink.
So I'm pretty sure of my 2 abilities,
Let me
have
turn around first.
I have lidless stare, which is you open your eye to somebody and he just takes 2d10 of damage. So I'm not gonna do that one.
He just turned down my dinner date.
I look closely at his figure. Does he look super duper pale, as if he hasn't been getting UV radiation treatments?
No, he looks kind of green or almost yellow.
I sniff next to his face.
I'm gonna sock this guy really hard in the stomach.
Hold on, I was intimidating. All right.
Okay, so
I was doing intimidating things.
so Cass leans in, like bowed over, this long, slender, and then all of a sudden he gets a face full of sort of yellowish orange because the butt of the shotgun just socks into this poor man's stomach, and he just spews his guts right into the navigator's face. Make a toughness check.
Oh no.
Give him the eye, Cass.
Do I get a bonus to this, or is this just straight?
You might take a penalty to this.
9.
Well, actually, you could make a agility test to avoid it,
That's
or
even
make
worse.
a toughness test to avoid barfing yourself.
I'm toughness 2,
Toughness
and I got a 9.
2?
9.
9.
Yeah.
What's your toughness?
31.
Okay.
So I have 2 degrees of
2 degrees of
success.
That's what the 2 is from. I was gonna
Yeah.
say. I thought you put stuff in toughness.
I
Started
did.
with 25 plus 2d10. How did you get a 2 toughness? Jesus.
Recalling my Medicae from earlier, I recognize this is the same consistency.
It smells
of
the
vomit.
same. It looks the same. This is the same vomit that the other guy had.
I-
and it's all over Cass.
I reach my hand over
and he does not care.
and motion to one of the guards, and I say, "Please collect this from my face as a sample."
One of them pulls out like a little handkerchief and kind of dabs you.
Terrible.
Too high.
Lore check on that salute.
Is there a sink?
Yeah, there's a sink.
Okay. Fortunately, because I'm looming, I don't think they got it on my person, just my face.
Yeah.
So I wash my face off in the sink.
Okay, you would have to remove your little headband for
I
that.
I
Headband
say
is
to
a
the
bit
room,
soaked.
I say to the room, "Please look away."
They do. Most of them were already averting their gaze from you.
And then I wash everything.
You, security officer, how are you feeling?
Which one? There's a lot of security officers.
Number 3,
Number 3 of the crew being detained, or the crew who are
the
backing
crew
you
that
up?
that are assisting us.
Okay. Fit as a fiddle, sir.
What'd you eat for breakfast?
Nutri-Slurry and cornstarch, sir.
Stick
Everything
your hand down your throat and vomit.
at once, sir. Give me a hit. Perfectly normal vomit, nice and pink.
Pink.
Yeah, corpse starch and Nutri-Slurry.
Oh, okay.
Tubby custard
What-
from Teletubbies?
What color
Basically
is Nutri-Slurry?
that. Pink.
Okay, I assumed it was like green.
Probably pink.
It's all certainly green. Well, corpse starch is anyway.
Is literally, yeah.
You, vomit man. Sorry. Go down the hall and see if anyone else here is attributing these same symptoms of sickness.
Do we have like a medic, or is that you?
Well, I'm the most medically experienced officer.
Surely there's a medic on board.
29.
So, he goes running down the hall to talk to the various other officers at your command. He'll be back in a couple of minutes.
All right.
Do we want to switch back to
Yeah, while I wash my
Delta
face.
Delta team. Woo!
Can I get I think I asked the room if any of them have fragrances or something for
They do not.
They do not? All right.
Your grunts.
Then I thoroughly wash my cloth.
All you privates, you all have guns on you, right?
The security team has guns.
Well, we still have the guy being detained in front of us.
Oh yeah, he's going to Sonny.
Okay.
Send him to Sonny right now. Find Sonny, give it to him. He'll know what to do. He's good with this sort of thing. He's a holy man. He'll treat him right.
He's just gonna punch him in the
In
stomach.
fact, right now, I believe
What
he's
is-
doing the best he can to make everyone safe
What
and
is-
comfortable.
What is Underworld? Is that like
Criminals.
okay? So I know lore of Underworld. Would I know? I'd like to make a check, I guess. If I know like Underworld runnings at this listening station or something like that, where like smuggling and stuff like that.
Sure. Now, this listening station is significantly smaller than the population of your ship. Keep that in mind. Like orders of magnitude. Like you've got 25,000, and this listening post has maybe 200 people at its max.
Okay. That's bad. I didn't do it by a lot.
So
88.
you've never heard of
Yeah.
a listening post being part of a criminal underground.
The criminal underground consists of one guy.
36.
The tech priest, the one that repairs things. Where is he?
You mean Yamcha 1?
Is he the one that repaired the?
No. Yamcha 1 was the one that sent it in.
Yeah,
Yamcha
sent it in.
Yamcha 2 is the one that repairs.
Yeah, who's the one who just repaired two droidikas?
What's a droidika, sir?
Yeah, these things. The servbots,
Servitors.
the killers. Who repaired these two killers?
He's right over there. The
I-
tech priest is continuing to administer to these servitors. He doesn't seem to be paused.
Yeah, come over here. That's an order.
All right. He walks over and performs the sign of the cog.
Yeah, whatever. So, you, how would someone?
Aren't you from Forge World?
I am.
So you would understand that.
Sure. Yeah, I see it all the time. Whatever. So, I'm a very informal man. Call me Dick. So, how would one make one of these into a killer? Is that possible? Has it been done? Could you do it?
That would be against their function.
But could you do it?
It would offend the machine spirit.
But could it be done?
I think he's saying yes.
A heretic could do this, yes.
Someone did it. And if they did do it, would they need to do it? Would there be a time frame or some? If someone was to make one go berserk, could they just send it aboard, or would they also have to come with it?
That would depend upon the skill with which it was tainted.
Do we have servitors on the ship?
We have
number of
12
them, yeah.
right here.
No, I meant like ones that we use, not ones we're repairing.
Servitors are used to load ammunition into guns, like big ship guns. They're used for, technically, the janitor would have been a servitor. In fact, you have a butler who's pretty much halfway to being a servitor. He's so augmented.
Tech priest, if you were to say make one of these go crazy and kill a captain, would you come aboard this ship to do it, or would you just send the robot aboard?
The purpose of sending somebody else to perform a task is to not be there when the task is performed. Logic dictates this.
It was Yamcha 1.
Would you be able to look at the servitors dead in the bridge?
I may perform this function.
That would be great if you could.
Yeah, he freaks me out too. Sorry. Anyways,
Does he salute me too?
Request a time frame for this. Request a time frame for this to occur.
What time is it right now?
I don't fucking know about lunchtime.
All right.
No, you said it was an hour until lunchtime.
Yeah, it's about
it's
an hour till
morning.
lunch, and lunch is at
It's like almost
1,200
midnight.
hours, so it's
11.
1,100 hours.
All right, 1,200.
wait a second. If someone smuggled in a death droid
Yeah,
in this thing,
yeah.
did anybody see it run by?
It's possible, but on the security cameras we saw that it always seemed to go down an empty hall somehow.
Do we have any eyewitnesses?
Did we see anybody
Well,
in the...
it came out of the cargo bay, didn't it? Before the recording skipped. I think.
Did anyone see a sprinting death droid?
Was it sprinting at the time or just walking?
It was just walking.
I have not. That's the tech priest.
I turned to the cargo bay manager.
You don't need to say that in the voice.
Yes, I do.
Do we keep track of all the movements of these droids, or are they
They're not droids, by the way.
Yeah, they're people who have been lobotomized.
Is that you, Sonny? Where? Shh. Sonny did tell me that once.
In his memory.
Servitors are lobotomized criminals.
Is this
and
offensive, tech priest? This is offensive to call them droids.
They would not know.
All right, so I'm just gonna keep calling them droids then. So,
Did you know a robot is Swedish for slave?
Is there like a log of all the servitors we use?
get out of my head, Sonny.
Yeah, there would be, because they have charging ports and they have nuclear stations.
licking doorknobs at other places.
So if I check my data slate information, would I know if that servitor was one of ours that we use on the ship or one of the ones that
You could see if any are missing.
Yes.
Sure. Okay, so you pull up your information and you probably coerce this tech priest into the codes because it's an engineering thing. But you're
Yeah, I'm gonna
essential,
be super.
so you're
I'm gonna be super smooth about it.
yeah. Well, it's also like you're in charge of a lot of things.
Yeah.
So you sort of segue into it, and you note that there are about 20 or so missing servitors from about 1,000 that you have on board. But they get damaged all the time. They're used for the worst sort of labor that is too dangerous for normal humans or require augmented humans to do.
Are there any missing that are like don't make sense? Like I bet there's a lot of logs that are like, oh yeah, it fell down a thing or something. But
So the file you're sifting through these file reports of all missing.
like, what's like the most
servitors,
recent
right?
5?
The most recent 5. Let's see.
And do I see any that are like checked out by Giles or someone?
One had a malfunctioning maglock detached from the outer hull when it was scrubbing something. One. Well, the one that's most interesting to you.
Yeah.
Is that one is reported missing, with the incident reported as. Let me look at my notes.
And is reported by the security team probably.
Yeah, it's reported by security team as defective. That's the only thing given is defective.
Yeah. So what's the deets on that one? Is there like details to it, or is it just?
The details are defective. That's all they put in their paragraph.
And there's no like
box.
person who said it, or
Is there an identification to
Yeah,
each of
that's what I'm
these
saying. Is there like
of the
a-
missing ones? And can I compare it to the droids that are in the?
So you could have the tech priest go up with you and access the data banks or the cogitator, I suppose, of this servitor.
which one? The one that killed the
The one that killed the captain.
Okay.
Well, its head is detached, so who knows what kind of condition it's in.
Yeah. And then on the data slate though, there's no like ID of who.
The
records
ID.
these?
There's no ID for the person on this last one, which is what makes it so interesting.
Okay.
Because normally it's an engineering crew that gives an ID, but because it was reported by the security team, they don't have a tech priest ID.
Okay. Gotcha. So I guess we can take the tech priest back. And you can turn off this godforsaken racket.
Not until we find
There
Giles.
is this wailing and flashing constantly.
Until we find Giles, it's red alert.
I bet the guys would all just be throwing up just because it's all this fucking.
Oh yeah, like the strobe and stuff. Yeah.
Maybe they get off their asses and find Guile.
So
Yeah, in fact, after the first guy puked, like the others start to go in a domino. Like whoever's closest just is like they're struggling real hard, and then it all comes out. This room is just reeking.
all right. Well, let's. I suggest we take the. I will at least go back with the tech priest
To the bridge.
to the bridge to the
Perform
dead
some
servitor.
autopsies.
Yeah.
Jenkins,
Yeah.
should we go find Guile?
It might be a good idea to check all the essential areas of the chip. Maybe like the engines, the core, the generator for our field that begins with a G that I
Geller
keep forgetting. The Geller
Like
field.
Ross Geller.
The crew worker in manacles says, "Does this mean I'm free to go?" and gets booted in the back of the head for his trouble.
The one that I imprisoned?
The one that you imprisoned, yeah.
Yeah, you're going to Sonny. He's gonna set you straight.
Well, Dick,
Okay.
why don't we put him in the brig for now, and then we can send Sonny down to him?
No, he's going to Sonny now.
Oh, okay. Well,
This is important.
I grab one of the security team, and I say, well, the last I heard, Sonny and was going down to crew quarters.
Just talk
check
to him.
there. Sonny, you still on this channel?
Yeah,
Where are you right now?
we're at the crew quarters.
All right, I'm sending a guy down that Dick wants you to look at. He didn't check the cargo containers, which was possibly where something came on board the ship.
Tell him about the missing thing too, I guess.
Jenkins, you talking to Sonny right now?
Yeah.
Hold on.
You
Can I
talk
speak
to
right
him.
into his ear? How does this work?
I think you have one too, so you can talk to the.
Well, mine's just an officer one that he doesn't have, right?
No, we can talk.
So
to
you can talk. You can talk to the. So as second officer, right? Because technically you're acting captain, not actual captain. You and the captain could probably access any number of microbeads. The officers all have an officer channel that their microbeads are connected to. The security team have microbeads that are on a security channel. Because he is both on the security team and the officer team, technically he'd have like one in each ear.
My hearing is
His
just a
hearing aids.
little. So I can't talk to Sonny because he's on the
So Sonny
security.
doesn't have a microbead except he has a security microbead. But you could have.
How does it pick up sound? Can I talk around?
So you know the little tiny microphones? It's kind of like that. And
Can I
there's just a
get
little
really
button on it
close to
that you can
Jenkins and
activate.
talk?
You
And
speak.
Sonny
You have to
hears me?
speak into his mouth.
Yeah, you could sort of speak
I'm gonna do that.
very close.
Sonny!
You could shout at Sonny's face
Sonny, I'm sending you someone right now. You gotta look into him. He might be a traitor.
or Jenkins' face to talk to
Heretic?
Sonny.
Well,
I can't hear anything from What do you say, Jenkins?
A heretic?
he asked if it's a heretic.
I don't know that. I know that you gotta use your powers.
I don't have powers, sir.
What do you say?
He says he doesn't have powers.
He's such a funny guy. Anyways,
Cass straightens up when he hears the conversation and doesn't without turning around.
because the microbead's in his ear.
Well, because
Well, he can hear.
he
mine
can't
to
hear the
phone.
Oh, his end
security.
of the conversation.
Yeah. Can he not hear the security feed?
You can't hear. You have an officer bead,
Yeah.
not a security bead.
So he hears the conversation that Sonny's having.
yeah,
And without
just
turning
Sonny's
around,
side.
and he says, "Sonny, are you speaking to Jenkins?
I'm speaking to the captain.
Please ask them to send a trained medical team and janitorial team."
You're in like ankle deep throw up.
Some of the other guardsmen who are there to back you up start going as well because it's pretty nasty in here. Oh!
Now, is there a way for me to individually pick people on the security channel?
You could give me an easy plus 20 tech use.
did you tell me you're gonna do that?
I'm not. I don't have tech use. Is that a basic?
I don't think
I
so.
don't
It
think
is
so,
not.
No, it's not.
I
Is it
can't
common
do
lore
that.
tech, or no? Or is
No,
tech
that's
use?
to find out knowledge about tech stuff.
It's different.
What about a logic test?
It's computers, so maybe. I think
It's
that's
this
more like
button
arguing
that
with
says-
logic.
Then this will be a gamble.
Do it, gamble.
I have no idea how to do this.
So you
Even though
just
I've
you
had
just
this
flick a
thing.
switch.
Oh, oh, that's a 57.
All right, so you flick a switch a couple of times, and you think you just set it back to where it was.
I turned it on and off a couple times.
Was it not working right, Jenkins? Got a
I was,
faulty bead.
Hung up on me.
I was trying to just select him, but I think I just turned it on and off a couple times.
Where are we gonna go next, Jenkins? I trust you.
Well, Tony, you're going back to the bridge with the tech priest.
Did you guys not order the the medical team?
He didn't say it.
Oh. Did you not say it?
You guys could probably do that.
You also have an officer bead.
You have an officer bead.
All right, I say into the officer bead, can we get a medical team and
Jesus!
a janitorial team
We haven't used this in a long time.
down to the down to the crew quarters, and I list the specific crew quarter that we're in.
All right, I'm gonna send you a doctor and a mop. Doctor and a mop.
All right.
Loudspeaker. Doctor him up.
Doctor with a mop.
A servitor that's just a lobotomized man standing on a Roomba is dispatched.
He's got little controls on the Roomba.
Send someone with that Roomba. I don't trust Roombas anymore.
is dispatched to clean up the mess, and a couple of the medical staff go to try and unpoison these men.
Excellent. All right, Jenkins, where are we going to go? To the force field chamber?
Yeah.
Gellerfield.
Gellerfield.
Let's check out the Geller field. So we'll head that way.
All right, Tony,
All right, that's
we
back in engineering.
keep safe. If anything happens, use your bead,
Yes.
then use your gun,
Right.
and then use your knife.
Then use your claws and your teeth.
So
Never give up. Never surrender. That's an order. You have a +10 to that. All right, let's go.
So is like probably all the important stuff's centralized in engineering, like the engine core,
So,
and stuff like that.
Yeah,
maybe?
the plasma generator is pretty centrally located, and that connects directly into the engines, and it also directly fuels the the void shields, which protect you from asteroid impacts and ship-to-ship weapons. The Geller field is the generator is sort of close. It's a little further up because it needs to be connected to the projector to envelop the ship.
All right. Well, we can check all of that while we head over there, Captain Dick.
Yep, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
All right, you hop in the elevator and go down.
Whoa!
Oh, I hope I don't start going sideways.
Diagonal.
It's a red alert. Dun, dun, dun. It's a red alert.
I'm glad we installed these.
Captain said it was crazy.
So we have I finished washing off?
Yeah, yeah, it was pretty easy. I mean, you just sort of mop your face, blink your eyes a couple of times, vaporize a faucet. Zorch.
Okay, I put my thing back on.
Okay.
And I turn dramatically.
You're almost like a vampire.
I'm kind of doing the oh man, is it Gru? It's like the really tall, lanky guy. It's from a cartoon, I think.
Yeah, Gru.
Is it Gru?
Brew from Despicable Me's kind of got long.
Not him. There's like a
I'm kind of imagining you as Nightmare Before Christmas.
oh, I was
Little
going
bit, yeah.
more. Have you seen Ratatouille?
Like the food critic.
Yeah,
guy?
kind of his.
Yeah, I can see that too. Yeah. Now you've got bags under your eyes. That's what I'm imagining. Okay.
All
so you
three.
turn dramatically,
I turned
and everybody kind of recoils a little bit in horror. This the servitor hasn't arrived yet, so it still reeks of puke in here. Men are coughing, and trying to wipe slime off of their face from puking, and it's kind of a messy scene. A lot of your backup has backed out. Like they're like they don't want any of this.
I growl in sort of a low roar. Attention.
All right, they do their best to snap to attention.
One pukes.
Just all like down his shirt, like in his shirt, and he's just like.
I sort of slosh my way forward.
These men are poisoned, for God's sake.
That's no excuse. And I ask them, have you seen anybody eat in your food, accessing your food?
I mean, sure, Giles usually cooks.
What was Giles? Has Giles been out in the town a lot recently?
Just on duty, like most of us have been.
Any disappearances, unaccounted for time, other
Special
than now?
dates.
Well, yesterday when we were prepared to arrive, he was down in the cargo bay, and then he came up. He cooked dinner. Then today he went out on his watch, and we haven't seen him since. And then there was this red alert, and we heard over the intercom that he's a wanted man.
I'm assuming the poison was relatively slow acting and that he fed them the poison for dinner.
Maybe.
Guardsmen,
I mean, he cooked breakfast too, but none of us really had the stomach to.
I'd assume so. Guardsmen, do you know if
There's
he
nothing
has...
coming out. It's just dry retching at this point.
At this point, that's for the best.
You there, sick guardsman number 6. Go bring go bring over the breakfast that was prepared.
Okay.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
Kermit, I don't think that was picked up, though. You will bow down before me, son of
So
God!
He brings over the blender of Nutri-Slurry and the big pot of now pretty soggy corpse starch.
Does it look out of the ordinary?
No, it looks like a kind of a brick of vaguely of super, what do you call it?
Nutritious?
Nope, it's not. Nutri-Slurry is pretty nutritious, but corpse starch is basically just like pure carbs.
What do we eat as officers?
You have real food.
Okay. So I wouldn't be familiar with the smell of this thing.
I mean, you are a minister, so you've probably been places before. You're often in the crew giving sermons and listening to confessions. You've served on other ships. You've served on worlds. You've probably done quite a bit. So you've probably eaten some corpse starch and Nutri-Slurry in your time. Nutri-Slurry is like the best thing for just straight up nutrition. So everybody's probably had some at some point. But officers and upper class people tend, like the navigator, he's never had Nutri-Slurry because he can afford all kinds of good stuff. But as officers, you get like, chicken and grok steaks and stuff like that. And fresh vegetables from a small hydroponics plant, things like that. But you've tasted corpse starch and you've tasted Nutri-Slurry.
I'm gonna smell this.
Okay.
Does it smell ordinary?
It smells like it's been sitting on a burner for quite some time now, and nobody's touched it, and it also smells like puke because there's a lot of puke in this room.
I wouldn't advise eating that, Father, even if there weren't a threat of poison.
I don't go carousing very often.
I'd hope not. Fraternizing with the guardsmen seems unbecoming of you.
Yes.
The shotgun.
I'm kind of imagining you as like a Fallout PC just holding the gun at ready in somebody's
You're always-
face as you talk.
You're always pointing it at the forehead of the guy, whoever you're speaking to. Could you put that away? No.
Well,
Have the medical team arrived yet? Or the
they will in
janitor?
a minute or two, probably.
Okay.
What about the guy that I sent down the hallway?
He was going to look for.
He was going to look for other sick companies.
Hmm.
All right. There are 25,000 crew members that he needs to check.
Well, I just sent him down this hallway.
Down this hall, he returns in 5 or so minutes, and he's like, I mean, 1 or 2 people have the sniffles.
But this sort of... I point to the...
Nothing like this. I think he left before all the puking started. He's like, nothing like this, sir.
Good.
Should we start a quarantine? Is that what this red alert is for?
No, I think this is food poisoning.
Though you may want to keep people out of the room.
We all eat the same thing, sir. If there's food poisoning, that could be terrible.
No, it was food that was poisoned.
Yes.
Oh.
Do you know where Giles may have gained access to some sort of sickening agent?
Well, I mean, there's plenty of stuff on this ship that shouldn't be eaten.
Anything in particular you know? If you've seen men who get hangry on the job, they may try eating things that look like food. Anything like this?
We're all adults, sir.
The Snickers bar.
Oh!
I've only heard of those in legend. They're a rare delicacy from ancient Terra. Oh, he opened it.
It's like completely molded and rotten. And it's like just an empty bag.
Father, you always act like... Oh, no. What's the quote from the Snickers? You're always a bit grouchy when you're hungry.
You're not yourself when you're hungry.
You're not yourself when you're hungry.
No, I'm Joe Pesci. That was a bad impression.
That was a really bad impression.
But he was in one of those commercials.
Yeah.
Eventually, the medical crew arrives.
I'm gonna go ripping through this guy's cabinetry,
Okay.
and I'm gonna look for a poison.
All right.
That
So
seems fair.
everything in this room includes the pantry with about half a week's worth of rations and Nutri-Slurry.
It's on the ground.
It's on the ground in the puke.
Yep.
Like you didn't even wait for the puke to start being cleaned up by this.
No, I just want to find
this
the
room,
thing.
the lobotomized Roomba.
Yeah.
You're tossing all this food out. That's pretty much all the food that's in there. There's a couple of things of silverware, like they put their plates in this pantry as
That's
well.
on the ground too.
Underneath the sink, there's a couple of different cleaners. They're important for keeping their living space clean. Soaps.
Are they
detergents and the
exceptionally
like.
smelly?
One of them has sort of a vague lemon scent and is kind of yellow.
Or lemon pledge.
But none of this vomit in this room smells lemony.
It certainly smells kind of soapy. He just sort of sprayed some cleaning detergent into his, probably in the Nutri-Slurry.
You'd think they'd be able to taste that. I pick up the thing of Nutri-Slurry and I hand it to one of the medics and say, you may want to take a sample of that. Also, have you seen something like this before?
Blast him with the eye.
No.
I've never seen anything like that before.
Oh, no, not like that.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Have you seen this?
Send 2 mops.
Just randomly melting dudes. Guardsman, come over here.
Often when Vordsmen want to avoid work, they will pull a stunt like this. Poison themselves, spend a day or two out of commission, and be docked and flogged for once it's discovered.
Nothing too...
Not that we pay them in the first place, but their pay gets docked.
Nothing... You wouldn't imagine it would be something out of an ordinary that they would need to access to make this sort of a scene?
No, I mean,
Soap, cleaning supplies, bleach.
any of those things could be used.
This was not a professional affair.
Someone was having an affair, sir?
Yes. An affair of murder. I
Dun,
look
dun,
dramatically towards the crewman.
They ward off the evil eye.
I think we have enough information here. Does anybody here associate much with Giles?
Do you play cards?
We
with
live with him. He's
Yes.
our cook. He's an all-around swell guy. We like him.
Did he have any friends, family, people he spoke of outside of this ship?
He's the
Um,
cook.
Well,
What does that mean?
What do you mean?
the cook did it.
We know the cook did it.
Oh.
Yeah.
That
Let's
was
see.
like the first thing he said.
I mean, he talked about having a sweetheart back on his home planet, but I mean, who knows how far away that is?
Do you know what planet that is?
Earth.
Was his sweetheart's name Thaddeus Rathalion Anchor?
No.
You just hear a yell very far away
Over
on
the
ship.
intercom.
It was. Hang on. Planets in the Deritus sector. I have a lot of notes.
The planet is in this sector.
Foxus 5. That's a death world. Sorry, not that one.
Kinky.
Acetus Principle.
Uh-huh.
That's a shrine world.
Did he ever mention...
He often said that he would love to go back there someday when he has enough money. You know, we get paid a little, not a lot, but a little.
Yes, I'm
But
sure.
he was saving every penny so he could marry her and retire. I said, that's probably 80 years out.
Navigator,
Yes.
do you know about how far away we are from that planet? It's in the sector.
I'm going to use astromancy.
Whoa! All right, make that check.
It closed my eyes.
I already did not. It's omnipresent.
That's just straight up. Would this be a standard check?
This would actually be part of the navigating the warp section.
Oh.
So this is basically what you would do before. Well, there's a lot more that goes into this, but you're giving a rough estimate, essentially.
Yeah, just
So
general
you need
distances.
to.
If this summons a demon, I'm going to be pretty upset.
No. All my side effects
Do
are
you
like
have-
fatigue.
Navigation information on you, such as a chart or a cipher.
Unless it's on my person, no.
Okay. You can make a navigation warp test.
Okay.
And what modifiers for difficulty apply, whether this is passed or failed, should be kept secret by the GM.
Oh.
All right, so just make me a roll.
So my base intelligence is 46. 2.
Wow.
Huh. I did pretty good on that one.
All right, I need to make a roll.
I know my charts. Is this an opposed will check?
Okay. You think that this would be maybe a month and a half of warp travel. It's not super far into the Deritis system, so it's decently close to where you are now. And in fact, the Acetus system, of which Acetus Principle is the nicest world, you're supposed to go to Jekdinum, which is one of the planets in that system, to drop off these the old guys from the listening station. That's where they were to be departed, and then you were going to take on what crew you needed to replace, which is what, 35 guys or so? Not that much.
It is not far, Father. Maybe a month or two of travel. We were going to travel near there.
Then perhaps this is a motive.
To go home? Are there any ships he could hop onto? Otherwise, is he sneaking aboard this ship?
Well, he'd be trying to get off the ship,
Potentially.
and that might be easier for him with a distraction.
That seems questionable. Why target the second in command?
Well, frankly, I think that this officer is of little consequence in this scheme.
Sir,
Yes.
I have a theory, if I may. Permission to speak freely?
Permission granted.
He was often talking about wanting enough money, and
Yes.
he wanted to retire on Acetus Primaris, right? Or whatever planet it was. Why would he jump ship now if we were about to go to that system? Wouldn't he want to stay, make as much money as possible, and then leave?
My thoughts.
Doing
Unless-
this now seems weird.
Unless he was offered something that he could not refuse. Did he ever mention the name Thaddeus Rathalion
Rathalion.
Anchor Star?
I think I would have remembered that name, sir. That sounds like a very impressive man.
He may
Who's
just
very cool and doesn't afraid of anything.
he may just be
Is that your character?
No, it's not.
the DMPC. Sorry, the GMPC.
If I was to play anybody of the NPCs that I currently have, I would be Clarence Fitzherbert, the butler,
Oh, I'm gonna
who
check.
has not shown up yet, but he will eventually.
I'm gonna check his pod to see if his pod has anything in it,
Sure.
like a picture or like a message.
So it's a
A post-it note that says, "I did it for this reason."
It's like a 3x3 foot sort of locker almost. It's kind of a tube that's padded that you just sort of slide down in. And on the top of it, so he's looking up at it, he's posted a couple of little pictures, all three of which are presumably his sweetheart, some woman from some planet. They're all the same woman. And under his pillow, you find a little Aquila necklace on a chain, basically a crucifix, or a space crucifix, except it's a little double-headed eagle, as well as a bits and bobs, personal effects that don't seem particularly interesting. Not interesting enough for me to have come up with them ahead of time.
It's possible
Like a
that this
toothbrush. Like he smuggled a toothbrush on board because those are a rarity.
They all brush their teeth.
it's
well,
possible.
evidently he does, because he's an officer.
It's possible that this was not the action of a man who was motivated by greed, but a man motivated by threat
Or demons.
or demons.
Demons?
Demons are always afoot.
We're like laying in this guy's bed. And he's too long for it.
You're both just scrunched up in there.
And you're in full plate armor with a shotgun?
Sleep a sleepover.
But every time he talks to me, he's always pointing the shotgun at my head.
Is that a shotgun
Just
in your
case-
pocket?
Just in case the eye moves, he's ready.
I would always point a shotgun at a mutant, too.
Well,
Who said that?
Execute that man! All right. You guys were headed to engineering to check on the Geller field. You arrive. A number of tech priests busy themselves about. Security has been arrayed here. You did send for it. That's correct. A quick scan of their faces shows that Giles is not among them. That's to be expected.
Have you seen Giles?
Not today, sir. No, sir. Sir.
Oh, fuck, I tried. What do you got, Jenkins?
Has everything been checked down here?
Everything seems to be working order according to the cog boys. That's Voidsman slang for tech priests.
Cog boys.
That's Voidsman slang for tech priests, sir.
So would I know that the captain who is from like a cog planet?
Yeah,
would
so that's
be-
a derogatory term for people who follow the cult Mechanicus, which was just said in the presence of the acting captain who is a part of the cult Mechanicus.
it'd be like walking into an Italian room and just being like, "Yep, that's one of them spics."
Saying that to the Pope.
I like the cut of that man's jib. I order you to slap yourself.
He does so questioningly?
Good.
Captain Dick, maybe it would be a good idea for you to talk to a tech priest and see what's going on.
Good idea. Tech priests. Your job here is to keep the field going, right?
We perform general maintenance and maintain and appease the machine spirit of the Holy Geller Field. The most sacred of items upon this hollow ship. Hallow.
What if you were to sabotage one, what would you do?
I would never dream of sabotaging one.
It's a rhetorical question. I order you to answer my rhetorical question.
Any number of the sacred rituals could be interrupted at any time. This would cause great pain to the machine spirit. It would be an anguish, sir.
Would
I
a
would
tech
not
priest need to
advise
do
it.
this?
Only tech priests know the rituals. Any fool could enter the ritual carelessly and cause and wreak untold havoc.
Can only a tech priest interfere with the droids things that serve
servitors?
Yes.
In theory, anyone with the knowledge could interfere with them. Certainly, anyone with a blood instrument could interfere with them. They are mainly flesh, and flesh is weak.
Well, I've determined that whatever our saboteur is aboard, if he's not a tech priest, then we don't have to worry about this this fucking weird shit.
Well, I don't know about that. I look at the security guys. make sure nobody comes in who's not supposed to be here, okay?
Sir, yes, sir.
And keep an eye out for Jenkins.
You are.
Yeah. Sir, we will watch out for you, sir.
Sorry, I'm getting a little old. Giles. Why do you have to have him be Giles and Jenkins? Oh, jeez.
Hard G, soft J.
I'm old.
Well,
We
now
should,
where to?
we should check next the fusion core. Fusion?
Plasma.
Plasma core.
Plasma core.
Let's check.
Good
that
idea,
out.
Jenkins. Let's go.
We have
Yeah, so to
there.
give you an idea of what plasma pistols are like, the ship runs on a giant plasma pistol.
Sweet Christ, this is on my hip. Is the safety on? It's pointing right at my crotch.
He's just walking and then suddenly there's a hole in the ground.
Well,
Ignore that.
Buff that out. I command it.
was I reading in the book that like those are horribly explosive
What,
If they-
plasma pistols?
if they fail?
Yeah, they will shoot you in the hand if you fail because they overheat and vent directly onto your hand.
Well, no. What happens
Or
if
if
they,
you wrap them in bacon,
what happens if they get shot? Do they explode horribly?
it would have to be a direct hit on the weapon.
All
So
right.
if you're a sniper, keep that in mind.
All right, we have the plasma core.
All right, that's a much shorter trip because you're in the general area of engineering, and you go into the plasma core. Now, you don't go into the room with the plasma core. You go to the heavily shielded vault doors in front of where the plasma core door is. These doors are not guarded by the security team. They are guarded by Skitari, which are specifically they're highly cybernetic warriors of the Adeptus Mechanicus, loyal only to the Cult Mechanicus, and they directly obey the Tech Priests of Mars.
So they're
There's a
definitely
small
not letting.
phalanx of them standing in front of these vault doors, and behind that is the plasma core. It's in a great big vaulted ceiling room. There's walkways around it. There's all this plasma going up and down. It's extremely hot, utterly inhospitable, and only Skitari, Tech Priests, and Servitors can even survive being in that room.
God, we can afford all this shit. You, all you. You see a man named Giles come by?
Authorization not accepted.
Now,
What do you know about this, Jenkins?
would I know how to properly address them?
You would probably have to talk to a Tech Priest.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Is there a tech priest up here?
There's probably some inside, but you'd have to get past them, which is not advisable.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Jenkins, do you really think our saboteur
You're
came in
well
here?
aware, because you are head of security, that the Skitari are under orders to prevent any and all unauthorized personnel from entering into the plasma core. This is the beating heart of the ship. It is the most important part, bar maybe a working Geller field. But the difference between the Geller field and this is you need this to live even in real space. Because it's life support, it's power, it's everything.
If someone was coming aboard to kill me, I don't think their mission would be to destroy a ship. They would have just done that.
Well, just to make sure everything looks fine, so maybe we go meet back up at the bridge.
The bridge where Tony is,
Yeah, he was heading up there.
or should we go meet up with Sunny D and friends?
Where are you, Tony? I thought you were in the. I thought you were in the cargo bay, and then you were talking with.
No, I.
No, he followed a tech priest
Yeah.
up to examine the
me and
body.
the tech priest went to.
Oh, the body. That's right.
bridge.
Okay, let's go there. So up at the bridge, you've got the tech priest with you, who's a little upset about being taken away from his servitors. He was in the middle
Riding
of
on
a
the
task.
diagonal. On the diagonal.
That's always terrible. This time it felt like you were spinning. I don't know. It's just,
This is a different feeling.
man, you
every
cannot
time.
be poisoned on one of these things. That's for sure.
It's like one of those gravity things that hold you against.
Yeah,
the
you
statue.
were holding against the
Whoa!
wall.
Ding! And you're
But
just
the
like-
rowers keep on rowing.
Like it's a different effect every time you get in an elevator. It's just random.
That's what that's from.
So you get
forgot
to
about that.
you get to the door before the bridge, and he immediately starts inspecting the corpse of what was it, Harold?
Harold.
And then you're like, no, the one inside here. We were looking at the servitor.
Well,
So
if you went straight for Harold, does he have anything to tell me about?
this man appears to have been shot.
Okay, cool.
He also appears to have ingested cleaning fluids
Ah. Gross. Why do you think he would have done that?
because the flesh is weak.
All right. Well, anyway, in here is the servitor.
So he goes up and begins looking at the servitor, and he begins plugging
Has
things
anything changed in this
into
room?
bits of it.
I assume not.
Most of the blood has been cleaned up. There is the sheet has been placed over the captain, and he's been elevated.
Do we have a morgue?
Shoot him in.
Presumably.
Shoot him in the space.
You got to burn the body before it goes
Should-
necro.
Should we bring the body to the morgue?
He sure cannon that shit out into space. That's an order.
Yeah, presumably this afternoon there'll be some sort of burial at sea that you'll have to preside over,
Why don't
or burial at void,
Well, he did
Yeah.
say he wanted to be on a. He wanted to retire on a.
to a
planet
beach?
with an ocean. Yeah.
Yeah. So, they
So
could
we're gonna
both-
shoot him into a
Target him
sun.
towards- We're gonna target him towards a planet with an ocean.
We'll just shoot him into the sun. Petty officer, can you escort the body? I sequester someone on the side.
Yeah. Some
Get
of
the
lesser
captain's
officers
body
will-
to the morgue.
We'll take the captain someplace.
Well,
appropriate.
hold on. Rip off the sheet. Anything you can tell about this one? He just got
He
killed,
appears
right?
to have been stabbed with a knife and beaten over the head with a grappling claw.
Cool. All right, take him away. Now there's a servitor.
All right, he begins plugging stuff into it, begins fiddling with several data pads. He's got mechadendrites going up and down. He's got his servo skull with him that's taking auspex scans. His face is a mess of goggles and rebreathers and wires that are just going into his face and stuff, and he's very inhuman in his appearance. But what little of his brow can be seen under this red hood kind of knits together in worry, and he begins fiddling about, and it's taking him longer than you'd expect. And he says, much of the code in the cogitator of this servitor is highly corrupted. There is viruses upon viruses. I could barely contain them. They almost overwhelmed my systems as well, but they have been contained and removed.
Where would a virus such as this stem from?
It would have had to been uploaded purposefully.
Is there any signatures in its code? Anything that would stand out? An organization, perhaps?
It would take many more hours to uncover this. Perhaps days, perhaps weeks. I am almost impressed. This virus is a work of craft.
Sounds like you are impressed. Not almost. Where would a lowly security guard get a virus such as this?
It would have had to been supplied to him. But a simple data slate carrying this virus could easily be uploaded to any servitor of his choice.
If it's such an impressive craft, can you think of anything in this any planet in this sector that might have? Or is it just underworld?
The tech priest actually says as his as you can hear the whirring inside his head, which does make kind of a slight whirring sound, like a not a solid state drive.
Prints out something.
It's like a dot matrix.
You've got mail.
You like slap him.
The tech priest would not know. He would imagine that something of this level would require a member of the priesthood or a heretic of prodigious skill. Heretic. Because puns, right?
I'm going to send a message over the.
It's too orderly to be a heretic, though. Whoever did this was a disciple of the Omnissiah. That much I can tell you.
What's that?
A member of the priesthood of Mars.
Tech
Cult
priest?
Mechanicus.
The tech priest.
A tech priest.
Okay.
I send a message over the officers' channel, and I say that we've discovered that the Giles was most definitely not working alone. Somebody probably got to him, and that they should have the astropath send a message to principal
Acetus principal.
Acetus principal to find the person who was his squeeze and at least check on her.
This reeks of Thaddeus. Do I know where that cur stems from? What do I know?
Actually, I believe I refer in my notes to Thaddeus Rathtalion Anchorstar as A smug bastard.
That smug bastard. Would he have any? Does he have? Do I know if he has any influence on where we are right now?
You know that he operates in the Deratus sector, but he was a rather minor influence there. The Deratus sector was largely controlled by the Long Patrol of the Imperial Navy, as well as the Dagama Rogue Trader Dynasty. But he was trying to make his name there, and was he gets his fingers in everybody's stuff, and he's always acting like he's better than you, even when he's not. What an asshole! His
Son of a bitch!
A punchable face. He's like all triangles. It's just all. He's got that scraggly little beard.
Triangle.
What a fuck!
Yeah, I
got
I yell
polygons.
for like a solid 10 seconds into the intercom.
The whole ship
Yeah,
can
the
hear
whole
it.
ship. Listen, everyone on the officer thing, and Sonny D, you make sure you relay this to Sonny.
This is the intercom.
Sorry. All right, officers channel. We there was an attempt on my life, and there's some guy aboard who's fucking with things, and he supposedly has someone who's a higher up. I'm thinking it's Thaddeus. There's no one else. There's someone who's with Thaddeus. Someone who knows that fucking smug bastard's name.
Have we checked the camera logs to see what Giles was doing, where he went
Yes.
in the morning? Giles specifically.
Didn't we have no record of that?
Yeah, it was no record. It was us.
There was like 2 hours.
There was a
missing.
2-hour delay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or cut, I suppose. But you checked on the servitor. You did not specifically check on Giles. But it is around this time that over the security channel, one of the security guards, we'll call him Varto. That's a sci-fi name.
Yeah.
Varto, who'll probably get promoted for this, that his team has located and apprehended the fugitive Giles in the bilge.
Good. We can shut off this terrible fucking noise.
Captain,
He has been subdued and restrained.
Oh, he's dead.
Captain, please do not. Please turn off the alarms and make sure to keep Giles alive.
Not until we talk to Giles. Then we turn off the alarm.
Okay.
Nobody's leaving this goddamn ship.
As well, my guess is the timing of this was purposeful for when we docked. I would imagine there is somebody on this station who has some knowledge.
We talk to Giles first. He may live, he may die. Then we'll talk to everyone else.
Okay. Where is he again?
Yeah, where
The bilge.
Do we
All
all
right,
know?
we'll
Oh, wait, no,
make
we
our
don't
way-
know that.
He was got in the village. He's being escorted. I suppose they'd probably say to like the cargo bay or something,
Okay.
or the brig. Yeah, you've got a brig, right?
Yeah,
We go to the brig.
I'll head to the brig.
We're all going to the
We're
brig.
on-
It's
Rendezvous
part
at
of the
the
crew
brig.
quarters that have just been locked off into a brig.
To the
'Cause you
brig.
need a brig, but you don't actually have one, so we'll go with that.
Everyone to the brig.
Or it could be a luxury crew quarter.
Spinning.
we have a ship of 25. Yeah, you get in the elevator.
Officers, to the brig. And I turn the intercom. Sonny, to the brig.
So we have a ship of 25,000. We don't have anywhere to lock anyone up.
No, we just kill him.
We got the ejection ports.
We just got an
You
airlock.
could put them inside cargo containers in the cargo hold.
Throw them in a cargo container. Stay in there.
Yeah, so you make your way to the ship's brig, however that's set up, whether it's in the cargo bay or the crew quarters, something like that. And you come to presumably the cell where Giles is being held, where there's like 6 or 7 guards out front. One of them is sort of being celebrated by the others, but they all snap to attention as you arrive.
Before I left, I let the tech priest take the servitor to study the code.
Okay.
Figure stuff out for
So
us.
he will spend the next
Days
however
or
long
whatever he said, yeah.
digging into this thing.
Yeah.
All right, and you guys all you all arrive. I suppose you're all coming to interrogate Giles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you all arrive at the brig and open up the doors to interrogate Giles. He is, as Jenkins described him previously, 5'11", black hair, medium
Yeah.
build.
Blo-
no, blonde
no,
hair was
black.
the dead. Was the
He had
dead
black
guy.
hair.
Blonde
Blonde
was-
hair was the guy that
Harold. So black hair.
Harold.
He glances up at you ashamedly and hangs his head. His arms are bound behind his back in heavy wrought iron manacles, and he sits utterly defeated. And you're told as you go in by the security guards that he gave up willingly once he was found. He was just trying to hide.
Give him the eye, Cass.
Not yet.
Security officer.
What's the name of the?
Oh, also there is that other guy that
Yeah.
you bound up from.
What was the name of his significant other?
I didn't come up
There
with
was
one.
no name.
Oh, there was no name.
It was
Yeah,
just
there's
You
a
would have to
gal.
ask him, but I would have to also come up with
Did,
one.
did he
Okay.
have? Did he have his gun on him?
Did he have his gun on him?
Did he when you apprehended
No,
him?
he was. In fact, he wasn't even in. He's not even in uniform.
Where's your uniform?
Ditched it.
Hmm.
Jesus.
Look, I figure I'm pretty set for execution, so I'll tell you everything if you like.
We
Well,
would
start
appreciate it.
talking.
I was bribed. I was bribed real big, sir.
Yes, he was.
By who?
That I don't know. Never saw the man's face. Wore a cloak. He appeared. He offered me plenty of money to make sure you were dead, sir.
He appeared on this ship.
I saw him on the ship before we docked
Before we docked.
This ship?
last night.
Where?
I was coming back from one of my patrols down near the bilge or so. He said he gave me quite a hefty sum of thrown gelt, which is one of the things they've taken off me. That's for sure. You'll notice none of the security officers mentioned anything about finding thrown gelt on him, which is coinage. But I mean, like, when have you ever seen coinage?
I don't deal in currency.
Actual
We've got a
single
bad
coins.
credit card.
Yeah. Somebody
Never
get me
leave
that
the bad
coinage.
cave without it.
Somebody get me that coinage.
Yeah, the sensual.
I'm here, so
He's like smells it.
come on. Come on.
I don't know what you're talking about, sir. They all empty out their pockets of the coins they split up from taking from the sky. There's quite a hefty sum here. It's like 1,000, maybe 2,000.
Is there do I have like a log?
It means nothing for your profit factor. It's too
Yeah.
small.
Yeah, no.
But
We gotta count that.
It's 1,000, 2,000.
All right, bring it back for more counting.
Guile.
Put it on my desk.
I was gonna buy a house. I was gonna set Daisy up right, make an honest woman out of her.
Guile, what did he ask you to do? I know you had him.
All I had to
He
do
probably
was
had a- yeah.
stick a USB in a servitor, make it look like one of the ones from the station, and then it would do the rest.
Where'd the
Then all I had to
servitor come
do
from?
was, it's one of ours.
It was marked as
Missing.
it was marked as dysfunctional, right?
Did you do this work inside of the crate?
No, I blobbed some oil in the crate when I was down there yesterday to throw you off, make it seem like it was from the listening post. Figured there's only a couple hundred of them. You could go through, execute all of them, think it was a job well done,
Are you...
and then all I had to do was lay low till we got to the acetus system. Then I would dip off once we were at Jectinum.
Yeah, you killed your
You killed Captain
squad-
Garden.
Squad Master Harold,
Did you
And
know...
Harold.
squad mate.
Did you know what the results of your actions would be
Yeah, I did.
at the time?
I had to get the servitor in. I didn't like it. He was a buddy of mine, but I would have had a new life. I could have done something other than this,
You
day
didn't
in,
have
day out.
The foresight to think that we would track you down like that.
Where on the ship did you talk to that son of a bitch who set you up?
One of the hallways. There's so many of them.
Do you remember the time, generally? Were you returning from your shift?
I was returning from my second shift, so it would have been maybe
Did you doctor the
1900.
did you doctor the security film?
Yeah, I think.
I think.
Yeah, it was done sloppily by him.
I have a question for
So
you, Guile.
would the security film have been doctored from when you met this guy then?
Probably not. Well, hopefully. Do you remember any identifying features of the man in the cloak?
He was wearing a cloak. He was a man, and I didn't see his face. He handed me the gelt. He handed me the data slate, or data spike, I suppose, because it's a USB, not a full iPad. He told me what I needed to do. It was simple. I would have had a whole new life.
Describe his voice.
Why you specifically?
Because I was an officer who was on duty at the right time, I guess.
So you're saying any officer on the ship in that hallway would have just gone and killed the captain?
Maybe.
Describe his voice.
Sounded like a cog boy.
Not too surprising.
Old man, can you...
I'm gonna scrutinize that.
All right.
19.
That's not bad.
Anyone with a artificial vocabulator would sound like a cog boy.
But do I think he's telling you the truth?
Yeah. That seems truthful, at least.
Old man, can you have the security detail start looking up the camera at that time?
Well, I think it'd be best if I do it, just so we don't
Okay.
tell anybody we're looking at that.
He was
section.
bulky, like he was wearing a lot of stuff under that.
Also, we may want to check the logs on Adeptus Mechanicus. Who's come in, who's come out.
So you can pull up security stuff. You fiddle through it. You try and...
Can he pull up the cameras from here on his data slate?
He would have... Well, you're in the brig, so you're probably pretty close to some
Okay.
security terminals. So you go over to one of them, you rifle through, you find the right time frame, and then start looking for where his patrol was, and then the route between there and his bunk, and look for any meetings he might have had. You basically follow him back. And then at one point, you do find a hooded figure. Stop him. They converse. The handoff occurs. I
There,
can
right
see
there.
that.
Zoom in and enhance.
There is minimal zoom in, not much enhancing to be found, and even if you did, this is from the wrong angle. You cannot see this guy's face, but you can follow him. You can follow him to an airlock where he jets off of the ship
Wow.
into space.
Why weren't we notified about that?
Oh, wait, hold on. What were we doing at the time?
At this point,
Oh God! No!
you
No!
were-
No! No! No!
No, the ship. What was the ship doing?
I start pulling up individual rooms.
No,
the
no,
ship
no.
would have left the warp a couple of days ago.
Okay.
So you can't like appear right next to something out of the warp because that would be bad because
Yeah.
you're opening a warp rift next to it. So you usually appear maybe a week or so out from a location, fly there in real space, and then either orbit up the planet or dock with a space station. So you were in part of that transit, that real space transit.
Okay. Just making, because I would have been.
Some of the longest, unless it's like a really long warp travel, most of the travel is done in real space after exiting the warp.
And do we
Although that's
see?
really dependent. Who
So
knows?
he goes into the airlock.
Yeah. So this person leaves via airlock, and if you follow him back the other way, he enters through an airlock, which is awfully suspicious.
He entered through an airlock when we were in space, or when we were in the
When
warp?
you were in space, he
Do we
entered
have
an airlock.
external cameras that sort of?
There would be external cameras, and you see that the cloak is sort of floating in 0G. You can catch a glint or two off of what looks like the helmet of a void suit, and he magnetizes to the side of the ship, crawls over to an airlock, inserts something that rifles through a bunch of code to open the airlock from the outside. You know that there's a lot of stuff in place to make sure that the airlock can only be opened from the inside when venting out into space. So whoever this is, they've got access to a lot of tech and a lot of stuff.
Does Thaddeus know such programming?
Does he? Do
Who's-
I?
Who's Thaddeus?
I was asking that question to
Oh, just
Captain Dick.
Captain Dick.
Do I know?
As a rogue trader, he's probably got the resources to find someone like that, but you wouldn't. Certainly, he himself would not. He would have people for that. But this seems really weird. Why would there be somebody floating in space in this area of space waiting for your ship to come by?
They would know our
Specific
logs.
kill me.
Hey, Cass.
Yes.
Were we near anything when we came out of warp, other than station?
The point is of where we come out of warp is there's nothing around. But somebody would normally follow. You better not have been eating cleaning supplies. I'm going to use my knowledge of like stellar travel. Would people generally know what the route of a ship would be if it was following?
So there's usually stable warp routes that are the quickest ways to get places. So there's usually a general exit area, and from there to a location is often a pretty standard space route as well. And if you have a decent scanner, you can pick up ships from a pretty far distance, and these listening posts certainly have long-range scanners.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be too hard, especially if you had access to naval knowledge, knowing both ship routes and ship orders and like timing and stuff. It would have been pretty easy to find out that this listening post needed supplies and that you were redirected to find supplies here, and then predict where you would be to get a man at the right time in the right place with the right equipment to perform a murder.
Of me.
I relay that to them.
But the question is, are they still around, and how did they get to that area of space?
Well, are there any other... Is there a way to detect warp signals, people entering and exiting warp? And would we have detected that?
Certainly, if you were looking for it, a navigator would probably know, and Auspex scanners would be able to pick up a ship if it wasn't on silent running.
So can I
If it was
remember...
on silent running, you would have to make an active Auspex scan.
So can I remember feeling somebody else exiting or entering the warp?
Not since you exited the warp yourself.
Okay. So presumably they are still in system.
They'd have to be.
Okay. So either they're at this place. I'm sort of saying this out loud.
Yeah. You're the numbers are floating up, and you're doing your Sherlock Holmes beautiful mind combo.
I believe that they're still in the system. Wherever the ship was that he attached, unless he flew through the system of space on his person through hundreds of miles of space.
He went into warp with a jetpack.
That man's got huge balls to do that.
He may be on the station, but there may be some sort of...
How would you even do? Would you have to be a navigator with a handheld warp engine and
like a tiny Gellerfield?
a really big gun? Well, a Gellerfield won't save you from if you're just in the warp.
Oh.
All it does is maintain real space around the ship, but demons can still jump on the ship and enter it, which is why the blast shields need to come down over the windows,
So
and
they
all
can't-
the airlocks need to be sealed from the inside.
They can't physically make their way in.
Yeah.
So when we warp, there's just demons all over the ship.
There's just demons all over the ship, which is why it's very polite to let all those demons die in the vacuum of space before you come into orbit.
It's just like a fucking Cthulhu monster hanging off the tailpipe, and they're like, get off.
That's a big one.
Like the windshield wiper.
So either he's in system at the station itself or hiding in some sort of rogue stellar location. I'm going to use my warp sense,
third eye?
my psych,
Oh, God,
science,
he's opening his eye.
my science to try to like keep an eye out of yeah, to keep an eye out if I notice any warp signatures, people
Alright.
going in or out.
So make me a science check.
Sure. I'm rolling good. Oh my god. 1.
Nice. All right. So you expand your consciousness as if you were preparing to take the ship into the warp immediately, but you're doing it in a manner of sensing, and this is in fact one of the ship actions that you can take. Is to. I know psychers can do it. I think it's detect warp signatures is something that navigators can do, and using telepathy to be in place of an Auspex scan is something that telepaths can do. But you're here, and you have now basically compartmentalized part of your mind to be constantly on the lookout for any warp signatures that take place in quite some distance, like days worth of travel from here. So you think you've got this area of space on pretty good lockdown, and you're feeling. And the moment something comes in or out, you will know.
Would I be able to sense it trying to go in? Sort of like the buildup of.
You would know the moment that the tear in real space occurs as the ship is beginning to drive through.
Okay. So we wouldn't have time to try.
So
to
you would know
intercept.
the moment they leave.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate, but you will know.
Mm-hmm.
That much you can guarantee the captain, the acting captain.
Yeah. So I basically say as much that I'm.
Speaking of the
Scanning.
acting captain, over the officer's comm, Alexius, the astropath, hails you. Captain to the bridge. Captain to the bridge. We are receiving a we're receiving
Oh, that's me
a
now.
psalm.
Yeah, what? I'm going. What'd you say? Say it again.
I'm receiving a psalm that requires your attention.
A saw?
A psalm.
Psalm.
Yes. Astropaths sing to each other through the warp. It's how we communicate.
Jesus.
It can also provide a what do you call it? By the throne is the correct explanation. Or you're in the cult mechanicus, so maybe by the omniscient.
Sorry, that's a nervous tick I say when I'm surprised.
They can also produce a visual feed as well. They just sort of plug in to a computer and can send video messages.
We're getting a video message.
Yes, I'm living Skype.
Sweet. All right. I guess.
And the little thing is going boo boo boo.
Oh shit, we're gonna miss it.
Boo boo.
Who's
Captain, I have one request.
Yeah.
Please turn off the alarm.
You found me.
We
Might as
found
well
the
put
man.
A bolt round in my head.
Also, would you like me to take care of him?
You just want to use your lidless stare, don't you?
Sonny, what do you think?
Well, I like to interject here, Captain Dick.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
I-
Jenkins. Yes.
I feel like we should hold on to Giles for a little bit, just in case we need to wring some more information out of him.
Sounds fair.
I think you got most of the information out of him.
He tried to kill me.
Well,
No. Somebody else tried to. All he did was plug a data stick into a servitor. Technically, somebody
He's
else
but a tool, a weapon.
He's just a tool, easily thrown away by the person who truly wants to kill you.
Sonny, I'll leave it up to you. What do you think?
hold on, ain't I the leader of security here?
I've got him on hold, Captain. It's very rude.
Hold on, this is important. Sonny, we gotta do something quick.
Boo 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 boo.
Let's send him back to his home.
Harsh.
Is that like a metaphor for shooting him? Or
No.
you really? You're gonna send him?
Well, as in like through space.
Yeah. Are you
presumably.
gonna shoot his corpse through space?
Yeah.
No,
Oh.
You're going to.
just back to his wife.
Oh.
Not in a body bag. Just quite well. Back to his wife.
Well, I wouldn't have thought the man with the shotgun in the armor would say that. Well then, all right, I got a Skype call to go get. So carry on, everyone.
What about this guy?
Giles. The other guy.
The other guy.
He's like, I received a much smaller bribe just to bring this cargo bay on board. That's all.
I'll leave it to you. That's horrible.
Who bribed that guy?
Who bribed you? Oh,
It was Giles.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
okay.
that makes sense.
Yeah, I put the oil in the thing. I was
Mm.
supposed to be like a red fish. Is that the term?
Close enough.
A wed herring.
Does anyone want to come with me to have a Skype call?
I guess I can.
All right, cool.
And
Everyone else,
I will.
Everyone, here.
I think the moratorium on killing
Good,
the
good.
two of them is now disbanded, if you understand.
I don't understand that.
Feel free to kill him.
Oh. Oh. Right. I leave the room.
Okay.
All right, just keep them in the brig for now.
The navigator and the acting captain are going up to the bridge. The central is going to the bridge. The
I'll
archmilitant
head
and
up
the
too.
so everybody's going up to the bridge.
I think so.
I'm gonna go.
The
Yeah,
last
because
one
the
out
bridge
is the cleric.
the bridge would have scanning. right?
Yes, Auspex stuff.
Okay. So
Yeah,
I'll,
we
I'll
just returned to the
check with them
Yes,
too.
right. So you still have these two guys in the brig for whatever you want to do, or just let them rot there forever for the rest of the game.
I hope we remember them for their sakes.
All right, it's not too long up to the bridge. You sort of switch the elevators into turbo, and it's not a great ride. This time it just shakes back and forth violently. Just
It's just like everything goes black and white for a second. Oh.
the klaxon is still sounding. You still got red alert on. You can stop it at any time.
Captain,
Yes?
please. The klaxons. They
Fine.
burn.
I turn off the red alert.
Okay, the red alert stops. The lights return to normal, and blessed quietness. You've got a slight ringing in your ears from all the noise.
You know, I got
It's
used
just
to
because I need to make a phone call.
you know, I got used to the sirens.
He'll be on in a moment. Are you ready, sir?
So whoever's
How do I look?
calling?
How do I?
I've got like vomit in my shoes.
Who's calling?
Or
Alexis
everyone
is
pose
being
behind
called
me. We'll look.
Bye.
All right, we're ready.
Sir, I could.
By someone he doesn't know until.
No, you're out of this.
So-
you actually stand off.
Whoever
the side.
whoever called is like, I'd like to speak to the captain. The captain's on the captain's can't be
Kevin's busy right now. They're hauling off the old body. They're taking.
while they have the conversation, I'm gonna go walk over to the sensor array people.
Yeah, he's not allowed in the phone call.
I can't be seen in video.
You're a secret.
Everybody knows that they have these guys.
I know, but
I don't think they all look like you though.
I'm like the least gross looking of them.
You're too valuable. You must be secret. Is he gone? Is he out of the room? All right.
Right. So, Alexius plugs into the vid screen, and up on the view of stars changes to into video, and the face of a man mostly obscured by shadow. At most you can tell is that he's bearded and elderly. Appears. Also, the text. A text appears upon the screen. This appears to be pre-recorded as well. Incoming transmission from the Astra Militarum Battlefleet Deritus. Security level beta. Priority 1 task. Threat level ultraviolet. You're also aware that tasks are rated on a light spectrum. So infrared is the lowest, ultraviolet is the highest, and the color scale in between. With infrared being black, ultraviolet being white, and then it's just purple, blue, Roy G. Biv down, right?
This is a microwave level threat.
Jesus.
We're getting to Gamma.
This man, still obscured by shadow, speaks, and his voice is very deep. Congratulations, Captain. Rare is the mercy of the God Emperor these days. The long patrol of Sector Deritus is stretched thin, and the loss of Degama's stabilizing influence is sorely missed. You have been reassigned. Congratulations on your writ of recovery. You are to seek the missing ship. The last known traitor of the Degama dynasty, Vasco, has vanished along with his flagship, the Saint Catarina.
I'm sorry, Vasco da Gama?
Yes.
You didn't
For
catch
all
that
you
the first time he
Portuguese.
said it.
I didn't know Vasco.
He didn't. He said Dagama.
Yeah, but I didn't know he was just going to go Vasco.
There's only one Dagama.
I don't know.
Vasco da Gama, along with his crew and flagship, the Saint Catarina, had vanished searching for something called the Great Archives. He has disappeared along with his warrant of trade, a sacred artifact signed by the Emperor himself. The loss of this artifact alone is enough to launch a reclamation crusade, but the Long Patrol has its hands full already. You are to seek him out, find the ship, and ascertain why he disappeared in the first place.
Skip this
May
ad.
imperial justice account and all balance, the Emperor protects. And it winks out. It seems we have new orders, Captain.
Yeah, we gotta go hunt down a ship and figure out why they went missing.
Yeah, a missing ship
Missing
that
ship.
we need to figure out where it went and recover it in one of the most hostile places of space.
Now, did that message just say that knew that you were the captain when?
I think this was intended for
I think-
Captain
All right,
Gardens.
all right. But didn't the message say promotion? Congratulations on your something to captain.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he got his writ of recovery.
Yeah, congratulations on your new mission. At least I think that's what I said.
Yeah. Meaning like the ship's got a new mission.
Okay, that makes.
Oh God, rest his soul.
Which
But
sucks because like they're sending a retiring captain on an ultraviolet mission.
Yep.
Hmm.
You
Well,
don't
then-
get to retire in the Imperium.
then this is a silver lining. He had a very dignified death.
Yes, we're preparing him to be launched into space.
Then yeah, we're gonna launch him into space. And
Of all the souls I met, his was the most.
I don't know how this stuff goes, but should we send back a message saying like Captain's dead?
No,
Captain
no,
Dick is
no.
now in charge.
no, we'll just do it. Results.
There's a little
Results.
printing noise, and one of the things.
Jenkins, what does it say?
You've got mail.
Actually, it's Alexius, sir. I'm the one next to the I'm plugged into the printer at the moment. You don't know what it's like to receive a text file in your head. You honestly don't. I could make you feel it, but I'm not going to. And he hands you your writ of recovery. That is an official legal document entitling you to all the powers and privileges of a rogue trader until you assume the warrant of trade of Vasco da Gama, in which case you will become a rogue trader in all officialness.
Is this entitling Captain Garden?
This is entitling the bearer of the writ, and the writ is for Captain Garden. But you're the one bearing the writ.
Petty officer, write my name on that. Frame it. We got a mission, boys.
Hang on, give me a second. Alexius concentrates very hard, plugs himself back into the printer.
You got Photoshop in there?
Bam! There you go, sir.
Damn. Can you frame it too?
No. You get one.
All right, petty officers, frame that. Then sit back down. We got a mission. There's no time to be standing.
I check with the sensor team while this is happening.
Well, I was going to say at this point,
Okay.
you feel the presence of the warp. And very far off, a ship slips away.
Captain,
Did you catch his
What?
license plate?
it appears your assailant.
How'd you get in the room? Weren't you gone?
I've been in the room the whole time.
Jesus.
You can't miss him.
What's wrong?
It appears that your assailant has slipped the coop.
He flew the nest.
He's
Went around the bend. Over the mountain.
he's
Through the
skipped.
hedges.
He's skipped parole. He's jumped the shark.
Taxman.
Sorry, the space shark.
The Carcharodon,
Yes.
which is a name of a Space Marine chapter.
Alexius. Where
Yes,
were
sir.
we going? Where was the location?
He vanished in the Deritus sector, so your guess is as good as mine.
Was that ship going towards the Deritus sector?
There's no way to tell.
Are we
We're
in
in
the
the Deritus
Deritus sector?
We're in the Deritus.
We're on the border. At the
We're on the
very least.
border. He could have entered the next sector, which is
I didn't come up with a name for it. The Adventures in the Deritus sector.
the Astronar sector.
Oh my god.
He was pointed. The ship was pointed in the direction of the Deritus sector. How about that?
The ship was pointed in the direction of the Deritus sector,
And that's where we're supposed to be going for our mission.
theoretically.
Well, this is serpentipedus.
Circumcision.
All right.
Well,
I
looks like
have-
we know where we're going.
I have a little outro.
Ooh.
The task remains unfinished. The borders of the Imperium have grown and shrunk like an ocean's tide, driven back by the enemies of humanity and pushed bravely outward by the efforts of the God Emperor's faithful servants. At the fore of these efforts are the eccentric and wild captains granted an elusive and valuable warrant of trade. They are empowered to act as they see fit on behalf of the Imperium and instructed to steer their ships beyond the edge of Imperial space, to explore, to map, and to tame the unknown. The Emperor protects, my friends. Thank you for joining us.